live. Let's see how many people actually come on. Well, give us that. You can see the counter.
Oh, okay.
Up there.
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock on Saturday. There's probably not going to be shit on here. Nobody on here.
No.
Yeah, there's probably not going to be anybody. It's.
Okay. Well.
They're going to be like, seriously, dude, you're going to do this at like 8 o'clock on a fucking Saturday night and think anybody's going to watch.
Get a delay.
Oh, shit. We got somebody out here. LS Demon. What's up, Buttercup? What's up with you, buddy? HRC 3. Well, hell, people are coming on here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jason Camera. Our new moderator on the Bad Luck Garage group page. What's up? Where was you today? HRC 303. What do you mean, brother? I've actually been up in, oh, Ethan, hey. Okay. No, man, I was actually in Sevierville getting her a birthday present, so build the track and they will come. I'm over here shoveling jelly beans. What's up from Texas? Hey, Laren, what's up? Murray's Turbo Fox Body is here. Christmas was good, Jason. We had a good Christmas. Went down to my mom's. We didn't buy anybody shit because we're greedy fuckers.
We bought people stuff. And we got to spend time with family.
Yeah, we have track LSD. Yes, we do. English Mountain Dragway. I wasn't up there today, but they were open. I actually posted about it earlier this week that they were going to be open today, but I wasn't able to get up there. I had to prioritize some things this weekend. So my goal right now, you know, I've got the engine behind me, guys. So my goal right now is to see how much I actually get done tonight. Because I know last time we did the live feed, I did almost nothing work-wise. I just talked to you guys the majority of the time. And, William Cordell made it. All right, awesome, brother. I'm glad you were able to make it. I think he was driving. He's a truck driver.
Oh, okay.
Make sure I'm talking about the right guy. But William's a truck driver, and last time I did the live feed, I think he was driving. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I cheated. Last night I came out here and I was actually out here with screwdrivers and a pick and you know, wire wheel, kind of cleaning this engine up here, getting it ready to paint. So there's really not there's not a lot left to do to it. I pretty much just got to scuff it all up with some sandpaper, vacuum all the loose stuff off. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I've already taped the bottom off. I gotta flip it over and tape off, you know, the head mounting surfaces and pretty much wipe it down with alcohol and shoot it with some paint. Message held for review. Why is it holding a message for review? Can be seen by you but are hidden from public. Okay. Show. William, I have no idea why it blocked that, but I just approved it. Yeah, don't watch this, honey, because it's off time. That's
what's going on.
That yeah, that
okay.
Up there is where.
Yep. If I was looking, that's what it. Okay, that's weird.
Oh, Lee was up there in his 2003. Yeah, he's my new twin.
Has he done anything to his?
Yeah, he had it tuned by Lethal Performance, I think, out of Newport. Did Lee improve on his times any, Ethan? I'm just munching away on jelly beans.
Yeah, you're going to town on jelly beans.
Yeah, I just lost all that weight and I'm snacking on jelly beans and drinking fucking Dos Equis. I got 2 of these guys, so then I'll switch to Yingling. Oh, nobody's talking. I got 21 people watching. Nobody talking. Somebody talk to me. Don't make me work, guys. The harness on the Nova, we actually got a PSI harness. Ray wanted an all-new harness. He didn't want me to build one for this one. So we got a PSI harness. It's already here. It's actually in a box back here behind me. No track too cold. Oh, track too cold. Spin fest all day. Yeah, I actually drove the Corvette today, and yeah, it was. I like cold tires; they're fun.
They ain't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But around and around.
What rods and pistons are you using in the Nova engine? We actually had a subscriber sent me a set of LS2 rods and pistons. Parrish Mendel. His YouTube channel is, I think it's Rude 67 SS. But yeah, he sent us some rods and pistons. Need a Dos Equis or a Dos Equis phrase? Yeah, I don't always blow my fucking keto diet, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis.
There you go. It's with Dos Equis.
What's the exhaust you're going with? I don't know. I've asked Ray about that, Jason. The car had Flowmasters on it, like Flowmaster 40s, and I don't know if we're going to try to make the old exhaust made up to the new long tubes, or if you know, Ray's just going to have a whole new exhaust run. I'm not sure yet. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have said talk to me. Now I'm getting behind. Turf Beats. Glad your woman likes cars because mine yells at me. She doesn't care. Oh, she yells at me too, guys. She yells at me too. A lot. A lot. A lot. Kevin says, I'm starting my first build, 4.8, in Mississippi. It won't be your last, Kevin. Once you do your first one, it's just freaking addictive. Well, yeah, PSI harness are the bomb for easy swaps. I've never used one. This is going to be the first time I've used a brand new harness. So, to be honest, I'm kind of excited about it because I don't have to, I mean, it's not a huge deal modifying, you know, a truck harness or whatever, but I don't have to this time, so I'm kind of happy about that. See the pics or the pic of sidestepping C10. Yeah, Ethan, I saw the picture you posted the other day. I was like, man, I hadn't seen that truck in a while. You can post a link to your Instagram on here if you want, Ethan. I don't mind. Kyle Bennett, jelly beans and beer, gotta love it. Yeah, this is how I got so fat, guys. Jelly beans.
It's his favorite.
Oh, JT Marshall's on here. Cherry Bomb Extremes sound nice, but they're loud. Yeah, and I think Ray's wanting to keep this Nova kind of. I mean, it's going to be his daily driver, guys. So I'm not sure how loud he's going to want it. Jason says I'd stay with the Flowmasters. I like the way Flowmasters sound. They're not the best flowing muffler out there, but I do like the way they sound. I don't like the drone, though. They do drone a lot in the car. Ugh, choking. Kyle, are you running the same? Yes, Kyle. Hold on. I'm choking on jelly bean.
Don't die.
Why? I'm worth like almost $1 million now. Or not a million. Yeah, I'm worth 800 and something thousand dead. You might want me to choke on that jelly bean.
Is that only when you're working?
Yeah, I got to die while I'm on the job. Otherwise, I'm only worth like $450,000. Yeah, we're gonna run the same truck cam that Brian Tooley stage 3 truck cam. That's staying in the 6.0. My girls, especially when you paint in the garage. Yeah, she hates it when I paint in the garage, guys.
It goes right in the house.
Yep, every time. Driveway engineer. It's BJ. Better than meth, though.
Okay.
Hoppy 07. 55 series Chevy truck. 5.3 twin turbos here. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, fuck. I just sounded like, what's his name? Guys, I was saying hell yeah, brother before fucking Cletus existed, so you gotta excuse me. To be honest, the first time I noticed that was a catchphrase on his channel, I was like, damn, I feel like I got robbed. Because I call everybody brother. Hey, at least she's more talkative. Been sipping that wine already. Yeah. I got a kerosene heater going too, guys.
First class.
I got a kerosene heater going to keep her warm. It's like right dead behind her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cold out here. It's like...
It's chilly.
Yeah, what is it, like high 40s or something? Well, I got my genuine Chevrolet thermometer over there. What's it say? Like,
yeah,
oh, it says 52. So it's not cold, really, but she's cold-natured. She's a little bitty thing. Hey, my buddy ran some Summit brand mufflers on his Monty. Sounds very similar to Flo's, but half the price. Yeah, there are all kinds of knockoff Flowmasters. Actually, on Project Steppenwolf, I had a set. I think they were called Flow Busters or Max Flows or something. They were like generic Flowmasters, but they sounded just like Flowmaster 40s. Pops cutouts for the Nova. I don't know. You know, that's the one bad thing about building this Nova, guys, is everything I do.
We have to wait on Ray.
Yeah, I have to wait and run it by Ray. Because it's his car and he's paying for everything. Kevin Drury, 278, 284 duration. Oh, it's advertised duration. It's 227, 232 at 50 and, you know, around 600 lift. 112 LSA might be fun tuning. My first HP tuner. That's a good cam to learn on. I mean, that's pretty close to a, like what everybody calls the sloppy stage 2 cam. It's like, it's got a little more lift than the sloppy stage 2, but the duration and the LSA is the same, or pretty close to it. I have an Extreme on my Yukon, but it still has cats and manifolds. JT Marshall says 27 degrees at my house.
Oh no.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Nope.
It got down in the mid-20s, what, a week ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Down here, and guys, that's like freezing balls here in East Tennessee. I mean, that's we hate it when it gets in the 20s. We're a bunch of bitches here. Like, I got a bunch of family that, you know, that's from Wisconsin, all my mom's family, and they laugh at me because I'm like, it's freezing down here, and they're like, oh yeah, fuck, whatever, Robert. That's not cold. It's 25 below up here, fucker. Uncle Mark. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, guys. Go follow HRC 303. That's actually my buddy Ethan. You can go follow his Instagram page. He's got a Turbo LSC10 he's building. It's getting kind of quiet. I think they might want me to turn around and do something. I don't know how much I'm going to do.
Yet, right?
Yeah. Jelly beans are gone.
Who's done eating?
I'm finished eating. I'm going to start working. High 60s and raining up in Northwest Florida. Yeah, fuck Northwest Florida. That's where I wish I was.
Yeah. We had rain all last week, too.
Yeah, it's, well, even still, guys, the ground's like sloppy saturated out here.
Yeah.
Well, the other night, the video I did a couple nights ago when I was in here painting the engine mounts, it was just piss pouring rain outside. Yeah, I remember you're about an hour from Pensacola, which is where I'm from originally. Nobody's talking. All right, guys, got any questions about anything you guys want to know about shit that's been going on lately? 34 in Kentucky. What part of Kentucky are you from, Turf Beats? We get some more people on. I'm going to ask you guys some opinions about another project I'm wanting to start after this Nova's finished. Think a 572 will fit in a Mini Cooper. Kali, I think anything will fit in anything with enough fabrication work and a big fucking shoehorn. You can make anything fit in anything. I mean, people put fucking big blocks on motorcycles, for Christ's sake. It can be done. It's just how much shit do you want to go through to do it? Oh, a 572 in a Mini Cooper. That's fucking ridiculous. Turf Beats. I live in Independence. It's closer to Cincinnati, maybe 10 minutes or so away from downtown Cincinnati.
Okay. That's where Scott.
Hey, Rob. Dean Goldberry says, hey, Rob, any pointers for wiring the starter in a LS swap Fairmont? Use the original starter wire, man. I mean, I've never swapped the Fairmont, but yeah, just use the original starter wire from the Fairmont. That's any swap, any LS swap. Use the original starter wire. Ethan says, yes, it will look up lights out Mini Cooper. Oh, yes, it will look up lights out Mini Cooper. Commas are very important, Ethan. Punctuation is very important. I'm not going to be a grammar Nazi, but like, it looked like a run-on sentence. I was like, what's he trying to say? JT Marshall, let me guess, Turbo Fox. I hope not, but I know it'll have Chevy power, so it's okay. I get no, guys. I am not. How much do I love Mustangs?
0.
Yeah, I hate Mustangs, guys. I'll be honest. Like, I've looked at a couple on Craigslist and thought, oh, I should just LS swap a Fox body. No, I can't bring myself to do it, guys. Like, I'm a diehard Camaro guy from way back when I was a kid. I'm not buying a Mustang. Oh, Jason Cameron says easy. Yeah, Jason drives a Mustang.
It's okay.
And it's still got a Ford motor in it. It's actually still got a Ford engine in it. Again, for you guys who might have just come on recently, Jason Cameron's actually my new moderator over on the Bad Luck Garage group page on Facebook. Kyle Bennett, I'm starting an 87 C10 build, hell yeah, with a baby 402 solid roller motor. Not an LS, but I'll share some pics soon. Do it, brother. Share them on the group page. Jason Cameron, I'm going to sell mine.
No, you don't have to sell yours.
No, you don't have to sell your Mustang, Jason. That's just not my thing. Everybody's welcome, every car. Hell, I don't care what you drive. As long as you're having fun with it. I'm just not a Mustang guy. I never have been. Although I will admit, like the newest body style Mustang, well, she don't like it because she says it looks like a catfish.
It looks like a catfish.
But I think they're pretty badass looking. I don't like the dead on look, but from like the side profile, I think they look pretty mean. I'm not a Mustang guy, but I'd be lying if I said I don't have a soft spot for SN95 Stangs. I don't. I don't even have to lie about it. I don't. East Tennessee education. Gotta love it. No, right, brother? Joking, but I want to swap an LS in it soon. I say have all the fun you can with the 4.6, and then, Jason, I think you and I have had this conversation before. I say have fun with the 4.6 that's in it. Push it as far as you can. Have fun with it. And, you know, if you want to LS swap it, just go ahead and be gathering stuff on the side. Like, go ahead and be getting your mounts and everything together. That way, when you do finally blow up the 4.6, you'll be ready to go. I like the pale blue on the new Stangs. I don't, JT. I don't like the pale blue. He's talking about like that pastel
like
blue looking
blue.
color. Yeah. I don't like it, man. It looks cheap to me. And maybe it's because there's like no metal flake or anything in it. I'm the same way with, I don't know if you guys noticed a couple years back, Toyota did all those, like, they're pastel colors, but shiny, clear-coated pastels on a bunch of their cars, like the trucks, and I think the Zions. Some of the Zions had those. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those weird, and it's just, it looks like a crayon color or something.
Yeah.
I think it looks cheap. That's just me, though. I mean, that's just my opinion. You like whatever you want, brother. My car runs on Bald Eagles and Mountain Dew. Woo! Freedom. My wife also says cars look like silly things like shoes or someone smushed their mouths. That's got to be a woman thing. It's got to be.
Yeah. Like that one spider car.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It looks like a spider.
There's some car. My wife
little.
cannot stand it. I think it's made by Nissan.
Yeah.
But the back end of it, she says it looks like a spider.
Yeah.
And she cannot stand those cars. It looks like a spider's face, just the way the taillights and stuff are. It's not a Juke, is it?
I don't know.
I can't remember what car that is. But every time we see one going down the road, she's like, ugh. Jason Cameron, well, a 250 shot, yeah. But man, I'm just gonna say this. It might surprise you. You might spray it with a 250 shot twice before it kills it. It might handle it twice, maybe even 3 times. Or it might not handle a 150 shot once. Who knows? Driveway engineer looks like a petty blue to me. It's weird. My FJ is voodoo blue. It's super blue. Super blue.
Super.
Huh. Wish I could play some music in here. I'd get a fucking copyright strike.
Yep. You could sing.
Nobody's got any questions. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about this a little bit because I keep teasing around about I want to do another turbo build. We actually talked about it a little bit in the last live feed. What's going on? Are we staying up till midnight again?
Oh no.
Actually, last time we stayed up, what was it, 2:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
God, yeah, it was like a 5-hour
like,
live feed.
Gotta go to bed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we can't do the 5-hour live feed again this time, guys. I'm gonna give it an hour, maybe 2. We'll just see how many people come and go. But yeah, smash that like button too, guys. If you're on here, if you don't mind for me, smash it. But anyway, on to the next project thing. I've pretty much narrowed it down to one of 2 cars, and you know, I was looking at several different things. I've been looking on Craigslist. I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know, guys. I think what I'm probably going to do is do a survey down the road, and it won't be that far down the road. Maybe just a month or so, maybe 2 months. But I'm gonna do a survey and kind of get your opinion. Like, I think there's a way to do like a poll on the is that rat in here again or something?
No.
Oh, I thought you heard something. I thought maybe you heard something.
No.
Yeah, 3rd gen. Ethan's already all over it. Yeah, guys.
He knows.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between two different cars, okay? And I'm definitely going to do one of 2 things. I'm either going to do and this is for my next, like, turbo shitbox build, but this time I want to go just full, you know, full race car with it. Just don't give a shit. Don't care if it's it's not going to be a daily driver. I either want to do a 3rd gen Camaro, and it's because I've owned so many of them. I love those cars. cue the mullet jokes. And they're fairly easy to swap. Like, I've been researching it for a couple months now, and it seems like a 3rd gen Camaro is like pretty much a cakewalk to swap, like most anything else. The other car that I've been looking at, and they're about the same price range, is a C4 Corvette, like a mid to late 80s Corvette. I've thought, and the reason I've thought about a C4 Corvette is because I don't see many of them swapped, and I damn sure don't see many of them turboed compared to everything else. I mean, guys, there are turbo swap turbo Fox body Mustangs all over freaking YouTube, all over Facebook, just everywhere. And the 3rd gens, most of the 3rd gens that I see are the swap 3rd gen Camaros that I see are pretty clean swaps. I've actually been following a guy, Matt LSX, and he LS swapped one and put a LSA blower on it. That's his YouTube page. It's called Matt LSX. And but most of the 3rd gen Camaro swaps I see are really clean swaps. Like, not what I'm wanting to do at all.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to just do a shit box, just make it fast. Don't care what the interior looks like. We're gonna roll cage it anyway. And like I said, I've thought about the 3rd gen, and I've also thought about the C4 Corvette. The problem is, if I do the C4 Corvette, and the reason I thought about the C4 is, like I said, it's not as common to see swapped, and it's damn sure not as common to see swapped and turboed. But the problem with it is it's a lot harder to swap a C4 Corvette. You got to modify the firewall. You got to cut on cross members and just do all kinds of crazy shit. And then I'm not sure how much power the rear end's going to hold, and or how easy it's going to be to swap like a 8.8 or a 4.9 inch into a C4. I've really not researched that much, guys, but they're going on Craigslist and stuff. I mean, you can get a C4 for less than $1,500, guys. I mean, they're dirt cheap cars, and honestly, they're one of my least favorite Corvettes of all time. That's part of the reason I want to build a shitbox out of one of them, because, like, I think they're fucking, yeah, I think they're ugly cars. Like, I found a beautiful 91 Z28, but it's like 5 hours away, and it's got a rod knock, and it was really cheap. And I was telling my wife the problem with it is the car is so beautiful, I would feel bad. Because I'm probably going to cut a hole in the hood and have a big turbo sticking out and cut a hole in the fender for the dump. And I said, if I start off with like a really pretty car, I'm not going to be able to bring myself to do it.
No.
But those are the two cars that I've decided for sure I'm going to do one of those two, guys. So yeah, C4 vet dashes are horrible, but don't matter in a race car. Exactly. I'd be pulling all the instrumentation out anyway, and probably doing a sheet metal dash with just the nest. Like, it probably won't even have a speedometer in it. Probably just a big tack, and then, you know, oil pressure, fuel pressure gauges, shit like that. William Cordell, now you got her paranoid. Were you making faces or something?
No, I was like, what? Rat?
Oh, about the rat. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I think I've been missing comments while I was talking. Go 3rd gen and drift it. Oh, I'd scare Tracy to death. I kicked the ass end out a couple times on the C5 today while we were riding around, and she always freaks out.
Well, he does it when I'm not expecting him to do it. And it's like, ah.
I'll do it when I'm not expecting it to do it.
I'm like, I don't know why I get surprised.
Yeah, I finally took the drag radials off the back and put the street tires back on, and that thing's all over the road now.
But I drove it to work.
Yeah, she was happy. She got to drive the China Vet to work again. Hawks Motorsports will have everything you need. Yeah, JT, I've actually been checking them out. And their prices aren't too god-awful bad either. But he's not on here right now, guys. I don't think he's on here. But the guy who, if you guys remember, the guy who made me the Bad Luck Garage plaque that you can't see right now because it's actually behind the phone. Yeah. But he made me that laser laser jet plaque and made me the, I can't pull it off here, but my bat boobs and made me the engine lift plate and stuff. He can replicate a lot of stuff with that laser jet cutter that he's got. So after the last video I did where we were doing the motor mounts for the Nova here, he's like, man, you should have just told me you wanted a set of those. I could have just cut you some, but I didn't even think about that, honestly. I don't think about asking you guys for shit, you know. It just, that's usually what happens is after I buy something, then one of you will like email me or something. You're like, hey man, I could have got you that for half price, or hey man, I had that laying around the garage, I could have just sent it to you. I don't even think about that shit. So if it's not here, I order it. What we got? Can you read that? I want to see plums of smoke billowing out the back of a 3rd gen Camaro with major angle, lots of mullet goodness. Fucking A, pusher on garage. I agree with you. I want to see fucking lots of smoke too. JR, driveway engineer, a G or even an 80s B body would be pretty dude. I had one. If you guys go back and watch, it was one of the first 2 Nova videos. Uncle Ray had a really nice, I think it was an 86 Cutlass.
I think so.
Yeah, it was an 86 Cutlass. It was all in primer, but the interior was almost perfect in it. Had a 350 rocket in it. Ray would have gave me that car if I would have asked for it. And I really, really thought about, you know, offering him like $1,000 for it or something, because it was in really good shape, guys, really good shape. And to be honest, I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing it, but at the time, I wasn't even really kicking around this whole turbo build idea. And I really thought Ray was going to keep that car and we were going to build, you know, like a race car out of it. And then next thing I know, it was gone. So, but Ray's kind of like that with cars, guys. Like the red truck that you guys have seen, that we're going to be putting AC and probably fuel injection on of Ray's, the 76 C10. He has kept that C10 probably longer than I've ever seen Ray keep a vehicle, like since I was a kid. Like he just constantly trades and buys and sells. And yeah, but he's kept that C10 that he and I worked on that a lot together. But he's kept it for a while. And this Nova back here, he has no intention of ever getting rid of that. Yes, that was the rat. I heard it. There's a rat in here. You're gonna make me go get the AR-15 and just shoot the garage up, huh? Go get that little AR-22 and we'll shoot at it with the 22. Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
Just grab your 9mm.
If he's little, it's fine. If he's big, it's not fine.
Oh, guys. Yeah, I was under the house yesterday. Yeah. I didn't find anything dead under there while I was under there, but you could tell where there'd been rats under the house. I do pest control for a living, guys. I think that, yeah.
We have rats.
I think that's the only reason she married me is because she can't stand, like, critters.
Yeah, but we still have them.
Let me scroll up here. I'm turd, #turd. Yeah, like Turd Jen. He's talking about the Camaro. Turbo Toy Box says, I vote for the Corvette. Man, guys, I'm looking at one right now that's got a perfect body. The interior is decent shape. It's the only thing wrong with it, it's got a blown head gasket, and the guys want like $1,500 for it. It's a 86, I think, and I've been staring at it pretty hard. I've been staring at it hard. Like I said, though, man, it's just such a pain in the ass to LS swap. But here's the thing, guys. If you remember, we've got the 307 and the Turbo 350 from the Nova. So whatever I get, that is going in it first, and we're going to throw a bunch of nitrous at it. See how much nitrous it'll hold. So, and that's one of the reasons that I decided on those 2 cars is because, you know, that turbo, either one of those cars would be easy for me to toss this 307 in. And then after we blow it up, then we're going to LS swap it, and that's when the real fun's going to start.
There's a big message coming in.
Big message coming in. Yeah. Remember, it's a shitbox build.
Right.
Wait, who said that? Sorry, it fucking... Oh, yeah, William Cordell says, Just remember it's a shit box. Exactly, William.
That's its problem.
That's my problem. And that's why I don't want to buy something really nice. Because if I buy something really nice, I'm not going to want to cut holes in it and trash it. Well, I don't know. A C4 Corvette I wouldn't have any problems with because I think they're fucking ugly anyway. I hope there's no C4 Corvette guys on the live feed right now.
It's okay. It's your opinion.
Yeah, even when I was a kid, I never liked the C4 Corvettes, and that's when they came out, is when I was a little kid. And I even back then, when everybody's like, ooh, Corvette, I was like, hey, it just looked generic. I always liked the 3rd gen Camaros, though. I've owned a bunch of them. Do a Sport Coupe 3rd gen. IROC Z and Z28 get all the love. Yeah, I've been looking at a couple RSs. Honestly, the Sport Coupe's the way to go if you're just building a race car, though, because there's no ground effect. They're lighter. You know, you don't have all the ground effects and shit, but they're ugly as shit, too. Especially like the early Sport Coupes that had like the little slits cut in the nose of the car. I hated those so bad. Stay old school with nitrous, Hack Job says. Yeah, Hack Job, we're gonna go old school on it first. Like I said, we're gonna throw the old 307 that we pulled out of the Nova. It's gonna go in there, and we're just gonna toss nitrous at it just to kind of show what you can do on even like a 305 or 307 with nitrous. But then after we blow up the 307, then we're putting an LS in it. And I may just build the Turbo 350 and see how long the Turbo 350 holds up to a Turbo LS. Probably not long. You can find 3rd gen Maros cheap as fuck. Yes, you can. I've been looking at a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. The problem is, by the time I get to them, they're already gone. Most of the good deals I'm finding, guys, are like 2, 3 or more hours away. And after we get the income tax, we're getting a trailer. So, you know, she's already agreed to that. So we're going to get a trailer, so it won't be a big deal. That's why I said I'm probably not going to, unless I find something just perfect that's close to me here, I'm probably not going to buy the new project until after we get the trailer. That way, if I got to go to fucking Ohio or something to pick one up because it's a good enough deal, then I can. Wish she was there for the donuts at the mountain. Yeah, me too. Why wasn't you there that week?
Did you have Ray?
No. No, I drove up there by myself, I think, didn't I?
Well, then it had to have been something with Skylar or Haley. Football game.
Oh yeah, guys. Yeah. Yeah, my son's in the band. So is my youngest daughter. So during football season, sometimes, you know, she can't come with me to the drag strip, and neither can he because he has football games he has to play at, and which kind of sucks because Skylar, my son, he's kind of like a auxiliary cameraman for me too. So when he's not there, it kind of, you know, I gotta get Ray to film for me. C4 will be tied under the hood for turbos, wouldn't it? The turbos wouldn't be under the hood, Kyle. That's why I was talking about cutting the hood. Yeah. But one thing I do like about the C4 guys is, you know, the whole top of the front end tilts up, so it makes them really easy to work on. Kind of like the C5 that I have now. Honestly, I was amazed at how much easier this Corvette is to work on than anything I've ever had before, because you can just get to everything really easy. And underneath the car, everything comes apart real simple. It's like a fucking race car. I mean, you jack it up, and underneath, it's like everything is made to come apart. That's one thing I do love about the C5. It's easy to work on. I mean, you wouldn't think that, because most people are like, oh man, I bet that Corvette's hard to work on. I'm like, guys, that Corvette's easier to work on than the 74 C10 that I had. That thing was a nightmare to work on. I mean, I had to climb up, even though it was lowered, I had to climb up in the engine bay to work on stuff. That Corvette, I can reach everything. It's a dream to work on. But the C4, the whole front end pretty much lifts up, and everything's exposed. So it is a tight engine bay, though, Kyle. It definitely is. JT Marshall, unless you want an LS1, Hawks wants $3,500 for a complete LS1. Yeah, well, I'll be putting a truck motor in that. Yeah. Like with Hawks, I was just looking at, you know, like their engine mounts and stuff like that. But then again, there's way cheaper options on eBay, and even the company that I just bought these plate mounts from, that I always buy these plate mounts from, LSX Innovations. I thought about talking to him and, you know, seeing if they can make something. I vote for 3rd gen. Those vets are fugly. Yeah, Kyle, they are. C4 vets are ugly, and that's why I want. You know, I might.
No problem
Yeah, I've got no problem cutting into a C4 Corvette. No problem whatsoever. It would not bother me. It would not bother me one bit to just take a fucking hacksaw and start cutting a hole in the hood on a C4 Corvette. It wouldn't bother me at all. You know what a C4 looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like the body style before the China Vet.
Yeah.
Ugly fucking cars. Driveway engineer, yeah, they have decent suspension, tons of options for swapping. Everything's easier, but they're still a bit underrated. Shit, I scrolled. 3rd gens and Fox bodies are heading up in price. Yeah. That's my kind of pest control guy. Honey, get the AR. Damn right, right? Too bad they won't let me use one at work. I get people all the time because we don't deal with wildlife like possums, skunks, things like that. We're just commercial pest control. And I get customers all the time. They're like, can you take care of a possum? We got a possum coming in the back. I'm like, I can, but I got to do it off the clock, guy. So I'm a little late to the party. Are you planning to turbo a small block Chevy, or are you going to LS swap the new project and turbo it? I've got a FI Tech 600 power adder on my small block Chevy, and I want to turbo it. No, Push Our Garage, the plan is to put the 307 out of the Nova in the new project, and throw one of the nitrous kits I got laying around here on it. And we're just going to take it to the track and jet it up and keep jetting it up until we either hit the 250 shot that I have or the engine blows. We're just going to kind of use it like a little learning experience for guys that don't have a lot of money, that might be running around in 305 Camaros or 305, 307 Cutlasses, stuff like that, just to show them what you can do for really cheap with some nitrous on a smaller carb engine like that. And then once the fun's over with that, then we're going to LS swap it, probably a 5.3 or 4.8, and do just a budget turbo build on it. But unlike the truck, when I turboed it and I was trying to build a daily driver, we're going full balls to the wall on this. You know, I'm going to cage it probably, and it's just going to be a race car. I mean, yeah, I might drive it on the street, but it's probably going to have a gutted interior, and, you know, its primary purpose is going to be to just go fast and have a good time at the track. And it probably won't be driven to the track because English Mountain, you know, sponsors me now, so that's where I'm going to be doing most of my racing at, and it's an hour away, so we'll probably be trailering it, which is why we're buying a trailer when the income tax comes in. Let's see, hack job. I have a 66 Chevelle screaming for a big block Chevy with a 200 shot if you're game. Hell yeah, do it, brother. 66 Chevelle, hell yeah. My mom's got pictures of me when I was like 2 or 3 years old washing my dad's, I can't remember if it was a 67 or a 69. I think it was a 69 Chevelle. You've seen the pictures, haven't you?
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I was like 2 or 3 years old. I was probably 2 in those pictures.
Yep.
That's the same one that,
baby books.
that's the same one that Mom threw the camshaft through the windshield. That's a story for another time.
Yeah,
my mom threw a cam through the windshield of my dad's Chevelle.
She had enough.
Yeah, dad was an ass sometimes. A lot of the time. No one is a C4 Corvette guy, laughing my ass off. Yeah, you're right. Nobody is a C4. Guys, since I bought that C5 Corvette, I've tried, I've gotten on some of the Corvette Facebook pages, and it's pretty much the consensus even on those pages, C4s are freaking shit cars. Nobody likes, the only people that like C4s are the people that have one, and that's just because they've not sold them and got a C5 or a C6 or something yet. They're just defending what they have, but yeah, nobody really likes a C4. I don't think anybody. What amazes me is the C4 ran for like ever. I think it was like 84 to 96. You know, like what is it? 12 years? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the C4 body style ran for 12 years, and I just, of course, it went through a lot of different engine combos in that time too. You know, that's when the LT1 came out in the early 90s and stuff, but that's probably the only reason it kept going. Monte Carlo SS. I actually looked at one of those. I found one of those on Craigslist last night, but yeah, it's another G body. I like a Monte Carlo SS, but like I said, I'm probably not gonna do the go get me my Rusty Wrenches shirt, please.
Okay.
I got you, Rusty. Or I mean, Nick. Sorry about that, brother. Yeah, okay. We'll wear your shirt on the live feed. Guys, Rusty Wrenches, that just came in here. It's another YouTube channel I watch with a real nice C10. He sent me a shirt the other day, and I kept saying I was going to wear it the next video, but every video I do, I'm like, I didn't want to get it nasty because I like the shirt. It's a really cool shirt, like that I would just wear out instead of when I was wrenching in the garage. Like this shirt, I'm wearing this, it's a Corvette shirt, but this is like a $10 shirt I got from AutoZone, guys. Or Advance. No, I think it was AutoZone. It was like, sometimes they'll have the little racks of shirts for $9.99. So I just grabbed this. I'm going to put your shirt on though, Nick. I'm going to put it on. JT Marshall, watch it. My first car was an 87 Sport Coupe with T-tops. Worst thing I did was trade it for China junk. I'm gonna do this now. On camera. We're gonna put the Rusty Wrenches shirt on. This is the shirt that Nick sent me, guys. Rusty Wrenches. This is his YouTube channel. Like I said, I love his channel, love his truck. I'm going to show you all my fat. I'm just going to let all the hamburger meat hang out right now. We're going to put this on just for Nick. This video is going to get demonetized for graphic nudity. There you go, buddy. I'm wearing it now. There we go. Got my new shirt on. We'll make Nick happy. Turf Beats. I've been wanting a vet. Shitbox retracted a message. Oh, Shitbox is back. Remember him?
Oh,
yeah. Been wanting a vet. Don't know why. I like more import cars, but I like domestic as well. The vet keeps calling my name. I won't get a C4 though, neither. Yeah, I wouldn't get a C4 either. Nick Arnold, lip smack. Okay, guy, I'm going to address this right now. So here's the deal. I have pouches in my mouth. And what you keep hearing is me kind of sucking the spit back in my mouth so I don't drool on myself.
Or spit it everywhere.
Or spit it everywhere. Well, I've got these pouches in my mouth, so... That's what you're hearing, brother. That's why I make that noise, and it doesn't help. I'll just go ahead and go all personal with you guys right now. I have no back teeth on the bottom, like on either side. They pulled them when I was in the Army. They were in really bad shape, my bottom teeth. So most of them got pulled by an Army dentist. They put me in a chair. They told me they were going to fix my teeth, and when I woke up, I was missing like 5 fucking teeth. So that's how the Army fixes your teeth. But, so it makes it hard because like not that you guys care, but apparently Nick Arnold is really concerned about the noise I make.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, he can't handle it. It drives him nuts. So I'm just explaining, the saliva works its way around because there's no back teeth down here on the bottom to hold it in. So when I make that little noise, it's because I'm trying to keep from spitting when I talk or from drooling all over you, all over the place. You guys will think I'm like on something. I'll just be like, drool coming down. It'll be getting all in my beard. I'll look like something from the fucking Walking Dead. Woo! Imports, LS swap an RX-7 or something. I thought about it, man. I really did. But I've overcomplicated this by wanting to put the small block Chevy in it first. So I'm like, it'd be easier if I get something that just came with a small block Chevy in it, so we can do everything that I want to do, you know, and show you guys. I hope you can eat a freaking steak. I eat with my front teeth, Mr. Black. Like I really have to chew everything. Luckily, my front teeth are in pretty good shape. But, yeah, I can't chew with my back teeth. Wow, this conversation went in a weird direction, didn't it? This live feed. Now we're talking about my lack of teeth. Where are we at? LT5 is either a Lotus engine or has Lotus-made heads. I can't remember. Yes, JT Marshall, the LT5, back in the C4s, in the ZR1 C4, was designed by Lotus. I think I know a lot of you guys haven't watched it because it's only got like 300 views, but a couple years ago for our anniversary, we went to Bowling Green, and there was a video of our trip through the museum, and I actually stopped and talked about the LT5 engine being designed by Lotus or something in that video. But you guys should go back and watch that video because, like I said, it's only got like 350 views or something, but I thought it was a pretty cool video. That's back, like, this channel was only a couple months old when I did this video. So it was the first video I ever did outside of the garage. So there were some kind of awkward moments, but luckily I had my beautiful wife to make the video a little more fun.
I probably made it awkward.
Yeah, we always make things awkward. I still, guys, like, I'm awkward on camera sometimes. Even though I've been doing this for, in February, it'll be 2 years. And I'm still awkward.
It doesn't feel like 2 years.
Yeah, it's been February. I think I started the whole bad luck. Like, this page was actually like my regular page where I just watched everybody else's videos. And then in February, I think I only had like a couple videos up. And in February of 2017, I came up with the whole Bad Luck Garage thing. And at that point, I monetized the channel and made it an actual YouTube channel. So, yeah, in February, Bad Luck Garage will be 2 years old. I feel you about the teeth issue. Yeah, man, it runs in my family. Like my dad, when he went in the Navy, he had a bunch of bad teeth, but the Navy actually like did reconstructive surgery on his jaw and everything and fixed his shit. The Army just yanked him. Yeah. I swear to God, guys, they said, we're going to fix those teeth. That's what they told me. They said, you want us to fix those teeth? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And I woke up missing like 5 fucking teeth. Like all my back teeth on the bottom. Both sides were gone. I was like, what the fuck did they do to me?
They fixed them.
Be twerking or tweaking over there. Yeah. No, I'm not a tweaker. Or are you talking about my wife's tits? Are you tweaking? No, she ain't tweaking.
I'm covered. I'm covered.
Oh, I see a wife thing.
Do you?
Well, I saw, FYI, my wife is mad as hell. I'm sitting here watching this with my headphones on while we're watching a movie. Ah! I do the same shit.
Let's watch a movie.
I do the same shit, brother. I usually got this laptop on my chest. We'll be laying in bed, and she's watching a movie, and I've got my headphones on, like, fucking around on YouTube.
That's us watching a movie.
Yeah, it's us watching a movie. Yeah. Except for the other night.
Yes.
Oh, what was that movie called? The Bird Box?
Bird Box. It was
with,
good.
What's her name?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Guys, that was a good movie. That was,
You put the headphones down.
Yeah, I was actually, usually we start watching a movie, and I'll be like, fuck this shit after 15 minutes, and I'll put my headphones on, and, you know, we're laying there together, so that's togetherness.
Yeah.
But she's watching the movie, I'm watching YouTube. I started off not wanting to watch the movie, and it kept getting my attention out of my peripheral. It just kept pulling me away from YouTube, and finally I just took my headphones off, and that was a good movie, guys. If you haven't seen it, like, there's all kinds of memes going around on Facebook about that movie right now, but it was like a very suspenseful. Yeah, it wasn't really scary, but it was really suspenseful, and it keeps you like on the edge of your seat. So now I'm putting in plugs for Sandra Bullock, whatever her name is, movies. I like her too. She's like Girl Next Door hot.
She's funny.
Yeah, whatever. Wasn't the LT5 built by Evan Rood, some boat motor brand? No, it was a Lotus design. Okay, they're discussing that amongst themselves. If you're going to build a drag car, I think you'd be better off starting off with a solid axle car than an IRS car like a C4. Yeah, and I would be, and that's why I'm leaning more towards the 3rd gen than the C4 Corvette. The only thing that made me want to do a C4 Corvette is because I don't see it done much. You don't see, like, even at the drag strip, when I go to the drag strip, I think there's like one C4 that I see there, you know, racing and it's, you know, it's been tubbed out, you know, Ford 9-inch and everything in it. You don't see them that often. That's the only reason I have for wanting to do a C4 is because it's less common, and I wanted to kind of do something more unique on the channel. But yeah, and that's why I said it would be more expensive to do the C4, because there's not as many parts for them, especially geared towards drag racing. There's quite a few parts for them for road racing, that type of setup, but not for drag racing. So I'd have to fabricate a lot of the stuff. Swapping shirts. Here comes the stripper comments again. Oh yeah, I think I was making jokes about being a stripper last time. Yep. Can't call him a stripper. What? Oh. Can't call him a stripper. Didn't even see a nipple. There's my nipple guy. Woo! Right there. You can see my shitty ink work too. Your vids are cool. Just busting your balls. Nick. Is that pronounced Nix Arnold? Yeah. N-I-X? That's what I was I'm not worried about it, brother. I'm really not. I appreciate you watching. Like, I really, it doesn't bother me, man. I'm one of those people. I'm like 41 years old now. I don't care. I've got all kinds of nervous twitches too that get on her nerves. I do this snorting thing all the time, and she thought I was a fucking tweaker or a cokehead or something when she first met me because I snort so much. But it's all like nervous twitches and shit, but I don't even think about it anymore, and a lot of it is stuff that I've done my whole life. So, and I realize that, like, people pick up on it, but you don't even know you're doing it. Yeah, I just don't even care anymore. I really don't. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I really don't care anymore. Lack of teeth, joined the crowd, lost most of mine from a car accident I was in. Oh, Kurt, I was just talking about you earlier, brother. I was talking about this Bad Luck Garage plaque that you made me a little bit earlier. I guess you wasn't on here yet. Was referring to the smacking buddy. Huh? William Cordell. Be tweaking over. Oh, yeah. What are you doing?
Just straightening your shirt.
Straightening my shirt out. You want to be unique, build a Fiero. Laughing out loud. I was looking at one of those the other day too, man.
Did you find one?
Yeah. No. Yeah, there's a Fiero on Craigslist right now for like $800, but yeah, that's just too big of a pain in the ass. My buddy had a Fiero in high school, and I mean, they're cool looking little cars, but really front end light, actually, that's why he ended up wrecking it. Like a little over 100 miles an hour, they get kind of twitchy in the front end. Because it's not a mid-engine car, it's a rear-engine car. There's a difference. And rear-engine cars don't really handle very well. They tend to understeer real bad. And Fieros definitely understeer, especially when you start putting larger engines in the back. They understeer bad. There's some really cool C4s in stock Eliminator. Search Dallas Glen on YouTube. They can be cool drag cars. Yeah, I'll check that out, Shitbox. I love your name, dude. I'll definitely check that out. Y'all not watching the game?
What game?
What game? If it's sports, then no. I really don't get into sports much. That's why I'm every woman's dream.
Yep.
I'm every woman's dream, man, because I don't watch sports.
Yep.
And I don't do drugs. I just spend all my money on fucking shitty cars.
And me.
And you.
And me.
Yeah, guys, so New Year's Eve is actually Tracy's birthday. So we go out every year for New Year's Eve, but we're not actually going out for New Year's Eve. We're going out to celebrate her birthday is the way I look at it, because I couldn't really give a shit less about celebrating New Year's Eve. But it's my wifey's birthday, so I went today and bought her a new Coach purse, because that's her thing, and bought her a new, like the matching wallet that goes with the Coach purse. So much for my torque converter.
It's once a year. I'm just once a year.
Shit, you ain't once a year.
Thank you. Somebody said happy birthday.
Oh, there you go. You're going to get the birthday wishes now. My old lady loves me because I'm not a sports dipshit. My wife loves me because I don't refer to her as my old lady.
Both things.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, I can't do sports. I really can't. I just like
we may watch the Florida UT game.
We usually go out with my cousin and watch the Florida UT game every year, but that's just to fuck with them because they're such UT fans.
Yeah.
And so we got married in Panama City, and when we got married, we bought a bunch of Florida Gators memorabilia and shit while we were down there, just for the sole purpose of having shirts and stuff to wear to aggravate my cousin and stuff like that during those games. Like, that's the only reason we bought the shit. We don't even watch football.
No.
Kyle Bennett, the shit's getting deep now. He probably posted that when I said, when I was talking about being every lady's dream or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about building an S10? Yeah, I've built one actually. Not on the channel, but yeah, I built an S10 with my brother years ago. You talk about going fast for cheap. I mean, shit, those things weigh like 2,500 pounds, man. You can throw a 305 in an S10 and it feels fast. Nick's Arnold, do you have any videos with a manual boost controller? Yeah, I've got the video where boost control, manual boost controllers, it's just a ball and spring valve that you adjust the tension on. It's, pretty much any one you buy off eBay. Now, the video I did on the dual stage manual boost controller, that ended up not lasting very long. But the regular, just little eBay boost controllers you buy for like $10, I mean, one's as good as the other, man. A manual boost controller doesn't have enough moving parts to, it's hard to fuck up, is what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I've not done a vid on that, because I mean, shit, it just pretty much just buy one. It's $10, man. Just buy one. Someone else had mentioned an S10, but I don't want to see you finish one before me, JT. Yeah, and I thought about not an S10, but I thought about like a S10 Blazer or something, because I like the S10 Blazers, but just gut it and cage it. And an S10 Blazer only weighs like, what, they still weigh less than 3,000 pounds. But I you know, like I said, I decided to go either 3rd gen or a C4. And ultimately, what's probably going to make the decision for me is when I finally do go to seriously buy one, it's going to be whichever one I get the best deal on. Or like I said, I might do a poll and let you guys vote on which one, and just make it like interactive, and whatever they vote on, I'll just look for a good deal on it. You know, we'll do like a C4 versus 3rd gen Camaro poll. Let them decide.
Seems
That'd
like
be
they
cool.
already have those.
Yeah, most of them are saying 3rd gen.
But you could still do that.
Yeah, that way we'll have it in hard writing, what you guys decided for me.
Yeah.
Bring some interaction in it. And Kurt Moore's gonna make all the engine mounts and all the
Aw, you're so nice.
he says, I've been on here since the start of the live stream. I'm here. So will you do all the fabrication for the cage, or do you farm that stuff out? So here's the deal, guys. I don't know how to weld, okay? Now, we had a guest on here for a while, John, and he is a fabricator. You know, he's a welder. Apparently I'm not allowed to say where he welds anymore. But anyway, you know, he did the fabrication work on the turbo system for the turbo C10 that we did. But I just bought me a welding helmet, and I'm looking for a good deal on a MIG. So I'm going to learn to weld. But the good news is, you know, I've got a cousin that welds. My whole family's sheet metal union, guys. So pretty much everybody in my family except for me knows how to weld. So what I'll probably do when I cage it is I'll buy one of those kits from Jegs or somebody like that are pre-bent. You just have to weld everything together, and we'll probably do it here. Probably do it on video. If I haven't learned proficiently enough to weld by then we'll probably just take the car to my uncle's or to my cousins or something like that, and have them, you know, weld the cage up for me. But again, we'll do it on video. Mr. Black says, laughing out loud, my old lady is called my old lady, but not called that in front of her face.
Imagine that.
That's probably a good idea, brother.
Yeah.
They don't like to be called old ladies.
Especially when they're not old.
Matter of fact, most women would rather you say my bitch than my old lady. But I just recommend not calling them by either. I just call her beautiful. That's my pet name for her, is beautiful. Let's see here.
Thanks, Kurt.
Another happy birthday.
Yeah.
Don't even watch the Super Bowl. So is that what's going on? Is it the Super Bowl or something? I don't know. I'm out here in the garage talking to you guys. I don't give a shit.
Shopping all day, working,
Yep.
and talking to you all.
That's pretty much it. What engine is in your S10? I've always wanted to build one with a big block. I don't have the S10 right now. That was something I built years ago. But we had just, me and my brother had actually took just a stock 350, but then we put like the whole Edelbrock top end package on it, the heads, intake, cam, all that. And that thing was scary. It really was. Big block would be a monster on the track, but would probably take some work to handle well with the weight. Yeah, big blocks are heavy. I'd have to vote for 3rd gen. I had an 85 Trans Am in high school. That car was so much fun. I miss it. Yeah, guys, and I don't want to rule out Trans Ams either. Like when I say 3rd gen, I'm glad you brought that up, Shitbox. I can't say your name without laughing. I'm glad you brought that up, though, but I'm not ruling out a Firebird or a Trans Am either, guys. When I say 3rd gen, you know, that could be a Camaro or a Firebird. I mean, you know, I keep saying 3rd gen Camaro, but let's just say 3rd gen F body. And when I do the poll, that's what I'll say, 3rd gen F body. Okay. Because I like Trans Ams too, and honestly, there's no difference like suspension wise and all that. So, yeah, any 3rd gen F body. I would say I like the interior better on the Firebirds and TAs, but the fact of the matter is I don't know how much of the factory interior is going to stay in it anyway. So yeah, I mean, I may just do a whole sheet metal dash, just fabricate a whole dash for it to mount stuff in, and just do away with all the door panels and everything, because I'm not going to give a shit about. That's not going to be the point of it. I mean, I'm going to want to make the car as light as possible. I may leave the interior in it initially for a little while, but eventually it's getting gutted. And if I buy one that's already halfway gutted, then I'll just finish gutting it from the very get-go. All right. Rusty wrenches. I'd vote 3rd gen. They are the epitome of the 80s. Yes, they are. And mullets. They're mullet mobiles. You call it the mullet missile.
Party in the back.
Yeah, business in the front, party in the back. So what is your stance on bought versus built? I see so many modded cars for stupid cheap. It seems like it would be easier to just buy a modded car and fix the janky stuff. I prefer to do everything myself. Anything I can do myself, I prefer to do it myself. And that's, like, guys, I grew up dirt poor. I mean, I'm not like dirt poor now, but I grew up like really, really freaking dirt poor. You know, like I use this, I tell her all the time, you know, when I was little, I lived in a little trailer that the floors were rotting out of it. We had mushrooms growing out of the floors. I mean, you know, and that's really the main way I learned to kind of work on stuff myself, is because I had to. I mean, I didn't have money to pay somebody to fix something, so I just had to learn to fix it myself. And even though now, technically, I probably could afford to pay somebody to fix some of the stuff that goes wrong, I prefer to try to do it myself and save the money. And that's kind of the point of the channel, is to show you guys, you know, you guys watch me fix stuff and build stuff, and then, you know, hopefully you learn how to do stuff for yourself too. Because, I mean, it's always cheaper to do it yourself. I mean, unless you're talking about something where you need a bunch of specialty tools or something like that, it's almost always going to be cheaper to do it yourself. And doing it yourself allows guys who don't have a lot of money, guys like I don't have the money to just go out and buy a pre-built race car. I mean, but if I can piece everything together and wait on deals and stuff like that, then I can sure as fuck build one. I mean, I hope that makes sense. Some janky cars can't be fixed, and that's true, JT. Sometimes you end up buying somebody's basket case and it's just so far gone, you're better off just starting from scratch. I've had a few cars like that where I was just like, holy shit, man, I ain't even fucking with this. Problem with modded car is who knows how well it was built. Been burned before myself. Yep, Nick, you're right about that. When you got something that's had a bunch of hands in it, and you don't know how well those hands did. That's another good reason to build something yourself if you've got the capability. Now back to that question though, not everybody is mechanically inclined. Okay, and I forget that sometimes. I do. I forget that sometimes. Not everyone is mechanically inclined. If you're somebody, and this is not an insult, but if you're somebody that doesn't know a wrench from your asshole, you probably don't want to build your own car. You might want to get you a good fucking job and pay somebody to do it. I mean, I'm just saying. I've met people like that. Hell, I was in the Army with people like that.
I know.
Holy shit, guys. I was a mechanic. For those of you who don't know, I was a 63 hotel track mechanic in the Army. And when I went to AIT, which is kind of like our school for our MOS, our job in the Army, the whole first week was dedicated to learning what tools are. And I'm not bullshitting you. Any of you other Army guys can, or any of you other, you know, guys who turn wrenches in the Army can verify this. The whole first week, the whole first block of instruction was them saying, this is a straight slot screwdriver. This is a star head screwdriver. We call it the Phillips in the Army. They call it a star head. or a crosshead screwdriver. Yeah, that was the whole first block of instructions. They actually had to tell people what tools were. And I remember being in that class and thinking to myself, people really don't know what a fucking screwdriver is? I mean, I was just like, wow, man. I was amazed. But, you know, some people didn't grow, you know, I forget that sometimes. Not everybody grew up dirt poor having to fix shit for themselves. And, you know, not everybody's mechanically inclined enough. They might have grew up dirt poor, but they just weren't mechanically inclined enough. And being, not being mechanically inclined does not mean you're stupid. It just means that's not your thing. And, you know, if that's not your thing, then you might want to pay somebody else to build your shit. That's all I'm saying. It's not calling anybody stupid. I mean, people have their niches, you know. I was just sitting here. I got quiet because I was trying to think of an example of something that I'm just totally not good at, but I couldn't because I'm fucking awesome. No, there's certain shit, guys, that I can't do. What, honey, off the top of your head, what's something that I'm just like I really suck at?
Carpentry work.
Carpentry, yes. There you go, guys. That's like my biggest weak link. Oh, thank you. That's my biggest downfall. I hate carpentry. What's funny about that is my stepdad was a carpenter. So you would think I'd know how to swing a fucking hammer, right? No, I suck at it. And every time I have to fix something around the house that involves carpentry, I just get so frustrated and mad because it takes me forever to figure out how to do it. I mean, I can do it, but it takes me a while to figure it out.
And then he's just angry that it took so long to figure it out.
If something,
So
I'm not a genius, but I'm not a fucking dummy either. Usually I can figure things out pretty quick. So when I cannot figure something out really quick, it pisses me off like crazy, and I just don't even want to fuck with it. Damn. It's college sports ball time at New Year's. Okay, yeah, I've got nothing to do with that. Yeah. Kurt Moore says, you got it. I'm down for it. I'm assuming he was talking about when I was saying he was going to build everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I missed a lot of stuff while I was rambling. I think Trans Ams actually have glove boxes. No, they don't. I know what you're talking about because they just got that little, there's no glove box. There's just like a little flat, like that you can put shit in, like a little leather envelope stuck to the dash. That was always weird. It's like, where's the fucking glove box? Gathering parts to put a 6.0 in my Vega wagon. Hell yeah. Had a buddy back in the day that had a built Vega wagon. Got kicked out of a Brainerd Optimus drag strip. First time he run it. Too fucking fast. Damn thing pulled the wheels. Like literally the first time he ever ran it, it pulled the fucking front tires and they kicked him out because it didn't have any cage or anything. They're like, you're done. If I wanted something or wanted it to work, I had to do it myself. That's where the rest of the best wrenches come from. Yep, where some of the best wrenches come from. I agree, Mr. Black. JT says, cars are like women. You don't want one that's had a bunch of hands in it. Oh. Military wanted me bad because of the mechanical portion of the ASVAB test. Yeah, shitbox. When I went in, after I took my ASVAB, my recruiter was like, are you sure you just want to be a mechanic? Because I pretty much maxed out the ASVAB. He's like, you can be a medic or blah, blah. And I was like, nah, man, I just want to fix shit. And I don't want to fix people. Then later on, I ended up doing the combat first responder, or I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I did the combat lifesaver course, so it became like my secondary. That actually ended up being a mistake. It's just more shit to have to fucking deal with. Kyle Bennett, I think building something on your own is part of the fun, and the upside to it is that you know every inch of it by the time you're done, which makes troubleshooting a shitload easier. Yes, Kyle, 100% right. yeah, you know every nut and bolt that's in that vehicle and how it all goes together. Joe, what cam did you put in the 6.0? It's a stage 3 Brian Tooley truck cam. It's like, trying to remember, I think it's like 218, 224 duration, like 550. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 552 lift and 113 LSA, I think, is what's in it. Like it's big enough if you want it to hit a lick, it will, but I can tune most of the lope out of it, so it doesn't sound like a huge cam if I don't want it to, if that makes sense. And that's how I'd done it when it was in the C10, is I'd tuned it down to where it didn't have a really lumpy idle, because I was kind of trying to be all stealthy with it. But it still made good power. I think Richard Holdner actually tested. He did dyno tests on all the Brian Tooley truck cams about 6 months ago, and he posted like all the dyno runs and everything. And I think that stage 3 cam on a 5.3, I think it picked up like 50 something horsepower over the stock cam. So it's a good cam, you know, considering it's very streetable. You don't have to run a converter with it, but if you want any kind of, you know, power right out of the hole, I would recommend it, because I ran it with a stock converter, and it's still with a stock converter, and it doesn't leave very hard. It needs probably 2,800, 3,000 stall to really leave hard. Working with wood sucks. I agree. I hate working with wood. I hate it. So I mean, some people, like my uncle Mike, he can do anything with wood. Can he not? Like he's all about it, and he's, you know, he just retired from sheet metal union, but man, he does some amazing woodwork. But that's one thing I've never picked up on, never had a desire to. Yeah, every girl that ever got in my 3rd gen commented on the lack of a glove box. I feel you, brother. Every girl that ever got in one of my 3rd gens commented on how wet their panties were. Oh. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. This is my 14th Vega. Where the fuck are you finding them all, Joe? Holy shit, man. Like, I saw a Vega on Craigslist the other day, and I was like, wow, man, I never see a Vega on Craigslist. This fucker's had 14 of them. I had 6 or 7. I think the Camaro we got now, the 5th gen Camaro we got now, is like my 7th Camaro. Well, no, one of them was a Trans Am GTA. I had a 89 or a 87 GTA Trans Am. And then I had like 5 either IROCs or Z28s. I mean, like, I never had an RS or anything. They were always either IROCs or Z28s that I bought back in the day. But 14 Vegas, holy shit, man. Oh, I hope you're not wrecking all those. Like, I hope you're passing them on to people and not just destroying them. Oh, asking a woman what you suck at. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Well, I have to, man, because, I mean, you know, sometimes I'm so awesome that I can't find my own faults. That's why you get married, guys, because believe me, once you get married, your wife will point out every single fucking fault you have constantly. She'll remind you that you're human. She will. She'll let you know you're not perfect on a daily basis.
Don't know what you're talking about at all.
They say women ground you, you know? They say, I need a woman to keep me grounded. That's what we mean. We need a woman to just constantly pick out our flaws. Gotta go. Battery is dying. Happy birthday, Tracy, and have a happy new year.
Thanks. Happy New Year's.
We'll see you later, JT. Rusty Wrenches. Where did you learn the ins and outs of HP tuners? I'm thinking about taking the plunge since my tuner is flaking. Man, hours and hours and hours. How many hours of research? Yeah, I bet I got 100 hours just Googling and reading through forums but I did download some quick start guides that I found. And if you go to the Bad Luck Garage group page on Facebook, look in the files section, I think I've uploaded a couple of those. Like one of them was the CPIG. It's like CPIG tuning guide. And that's actually one of the first tuning guides I ever used. And it's really good, like basically goes through step by step. Now they do use HP Tuners version 224 in that guide, but you can kind of adapt it over. And that's why I uploaded it into the file sections, into the file section on the group pages for guys who are wanting to, you know, try to figure out how to tune yourself. But it is a steep learning curve. It really, I'm still learning. I mean, it's been several years now, and I'm still learning. I ain't ashamed to admit it. Hell, I figure something out just about every time I go to tune something. I figure something new out, but it's a never-ending process, and HP Tuners keep switching up operating systems and making sure that you have to keep learning. So but yeah, check out that guide that I uploaded, and I'd start with that, man. Mr. Black, okay, Kurt's talking to Mr. Black. Oh, he said that's what she said. What did he say? Working with wood sucks. That's what she said. All right, I get it. Rusty wrenches, just trial and error. Yeah, I want to say that too, guys. Trial and error. When you're learning to tune, if you've never tuned before and you're trying to build like a turbo LS, don't learn to tune on a turbo LS. You're gonna blow it up. You're gonna fuck it up. You are. Okay? If you need to take a vehicle that's pretty much stock, and that needs to be what you start learning on. That way you can learn the ins and outs and have a lot of room, a lot of margin for error. Like if you put in too much time in, or just, you know, stupid shit happens. My advice is learn on a fairly stock vehicle first. Don't just jump into the deep end and start learning on some turbo car that you just built. Okay, that's a bad idea. That's a real bad idea. Joe says, I watched those vids on the Brian Tooley cams. They work well. Yeah, the truck cams are, I mean, they're exactly, you know, that's what they're meant for, is to be like not full out race cams. They're meant to be daily driver cams that pack a punch, and they definitely pack a punch. Did a 2800 stall in my light Jeep with a BTR 4 cam. Yeah, Jeeps don't weigh shit, so. The lighter the vehicle is, too, the less stall you need, really. Like, and that's why Ray, we had talked about going ahead and getting him a stall for this 4L80. And then I was like, well, you know what, Ray? I said, it really wasn't that bad on the stock stall in my C10. And this Nova weighs like 1,000 pounds less than my C10. So what we decided in the end to do is just go put the stock converter in it and see how he likes it. And if he wants another converter later on, then we'll put another converter in. It's not that big a deal to put a converter in, you know, an older vehicle like this. Any of you guys remember the Woolly Mammoth Vega? Yes, I do. I remember it. With the big fuzzy hair as a paint job. I think it was on Pinks and Pastime shows. I love that car. I remember that car, Mr. Black. Yes, I remember it. The Woolly Mammoth Vega.
I don't remember it.
Well, you didn't watch shows like that, but I think I seen it in a magazine or something too. Joe, laughing out loud, I'm addicted to Vegas. Nope, no crashes. One of them I built ran 9s on a 235 tire. Wow. And won best in the DC World of Wheels. That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. That's freaking awesome. Where's everybody at? We only got 23 people in here. And I've not touched this engine back here, have I?
No.
That's all right. We're talking to everybody. Love the Woolly Mammoth. And he's not talking about my butt hair.
Has he seen your butt hair?
I hope not.
Oh.
I don't think they've seen my butt hair. I'm feeling like a woolly mammoth with this beard. What do you guys think about my facial pubes? I got some face pubes going on right now. As soon as my boss sees it, he'll probably write me up. I'm not allowed to have all this on my job. Well, conversation just kind of went. Oh, shitbox is back. I had to piss and grab more beer. That's why you need one of these, man. You need one of these. She just brings the beer out here to me. Wow, that's nice and warm. Are you warm?
Yeah, this whole side is warm.
You need to spin around.
No, that's why I'm sitting this way.
Let them see the back of your head for a while.
Yeah. It's like my nose.
Wait, this is my first LS swap. Got to learn HP tuners and no butt hair. Skater Pro 9111. What you working on? Honestly, brother, I ain't working on shit. I've got the engine back here that I was cleaning on, getting ready to paint, the 6-liter back here. But I haven't done a damn thing to it since I started the live feed. I've just been kind of talking and interacting with you guys. Holy crap. Nobody said anything forever, and then all of a sudden the comments just started pouring in. Mr. Black cooking some steaks and frying some taters. Yeah, we just ate some Chinese food at the mall. William Cordell, too much information. What, man? You don't want to see my butt hair?
I don't think you want to see your butt hair.
Drag Bike Demon, what's your next build? Well, we're still working on the Nova. We've got the C5 China Vet that we've been working on. I got to put a shift kit in it. And that's actually what we've been discussing in the live feed. We're trying to decide between a 3rd gen Camaro or a C4 Corvette for the next turbo build. Running around like a headless chicken and watching a live feed is tough.
What's he working on?
Well, he's cooking steaks and frying taters.
Cooking steaks, frying taters.
And trying to watch a live feed. No, burn them, man.
Burn the steak.
Burn them and call it Cajun.
No.
You say it's blackened.
Medium rare.
It's not burnt, it's blackened. Yeah, I like my steaks medium rare. Do me one medium rare and like overnight it.
Oh.
I have one of those, hence the old lady comment. Oh yeah, because I said get you one of these. Yeah. Did you use stock injectors decapped? Yes, I did. I've actually got a whole bunch of videos showing how to decap them, how to tune stock injectors, or I mean how to tune with decapped injectors. Yeah, I think I've got a whole separate playlist that's all it is videos about decapped injectors on the channel here. William Cordell, beer assistant. Yes, she's the head beer tender. The old lady is working on green beans and bacon. He just keeps calling her old lady. Old lady's working on green beans and bacon. I'm not much on green beans, but I'll eat the hell out of some bacon.
Love bacon.
That's what Mom used to do, is put bacon in the green beans. Yeah. I still wouldn't eat them. Working on a buzz from the looks of it. Yeah, I'm working on that.
I brought you another one. You haven't even started.
Oh, by the way, guys, you know, since the wife's birthday is in like 2 days, hold on, opening another Dos Equis. It's my last Dos Equis. I've got Yingling after this, but I actually bought the wife another birthday present a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to give it to her. Or actually, it was supposed to be a Christmas present. I forgot to give it to her. So ever since I bought the C5, you know, she's been driving the shit out of the C5, but she keeps saying she wants a C7. She wants one of the new Corvettes. So I bought her one. There you go, honey.
Oh, it's the wrong color.
It's the C7, and it is a C7R. It's the racing edition. Here you go, guys. I bought her very own C7, and it's a Summit Racing Edition C7.
It's not quite what I had in mind.
Well, you can take that to work and put it on your
Okay, on my
desk. Yeah, at work.
Corvette.
There you go. You're a Corvette owner.
Colors.
It's the only color they had. I got some spray paint.
Okay.
We can spray paint it if you want, but you got to mask off the wheels and the windshields. America.
It's America.
America.
Well,
there it is.
America.
Yeah, it's red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And it says Summit Racing on it, so it doesn't get any better. Third gen is probably easier. Yeah, we were discussing that earlier, man. Third gen Camaro is a pretty easy LS swap. And before we LS swap it, we're going to be throwing a bunch of nitrous. We're taking the 307 out of the Nova and putting it in there, and we're going to blow that fucker up with some nitrous first. Then we're going to LS swap it and turbo it and have fun with it. Yeah, I went over, you know, you can go back and watch this live feed later if you want and see, I kind of went over the reasons for why I've decided on one of those two cars earlier in the live feed. I'm doing my little 402 in a C10 because it's what I got, but we'll be building another motor while I abuse the 402. I'm an old school big block guy, but yeah, but y'all got me leaning towards a LS build. Yeah, Kyle, man, there's nothing wrong with a 402. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a small block Chevy. It's just, the fact of the matter is, it's way easier to make power for the same amount of money or less now with a LS than it is with a small block Chevy. I mean, that's the main thing. And, you know, especially if you go with fuel injection, the stock fuel injection on a LS, you know, it's a lot more dependable if you're looking for, you know, like a daily driver, hot rod kind of build. You know, that's the bottom line. I mean, the LS is the new small block Chevy. You know, the small block Chevy was that back in the day. I mean, people give people shit about putting LSs and everything, but guys, you know, we were putting 350 Chevys in freaking Fox body Mustangs 20-something years ago. I mean, it's, you know, it's nothing new to swap a Chevy motor into a Ford or into an RX-7. You know, like my half brother's cousin, you know, he put a 307 in a 79 RX-7 when I was like 16. That's, hell, what, that's 20-something years ago? Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new, guys. I mean, like I said, people give everybody shit. Oh, you just stick an LS and everything. Well, fuck, we were doing it with small block Chevys fucking 30 years ago, guys. It's just, you know, nobody's doing anything new. That's the funny thing, you know. And I know a lot of you guys that are on here that might be younger and might just be discovering the whole world, magical world of cars and swapping, and you think this is some new game. It's not. This game's been being played since the first Chevy popped off the assembly line, and some guy wrecked it and had a Ford with a blown up engine and said, you know what? I need this car. I need one of these cars running. So I'm going to take that Chevy engine out of that wrecked Chevy and put it in this Model T. I mean, guys, this shit's been going on since the beginning of fucking automotive dumb. You know, it's nothing new. I know everybody thinks that, you know, when you just started doing something, you just learned about something, it's, you know, you think, wow, man, people are doing this. But yeah, people have been doing this thing since long before I was even born. Yeah. I don't even remember where I was going with that rant. Trade her Camaro in on a C7. That's eventually the plan, actually. We've talked about, now I can't do it right now, guys. I don't have the money. But we've talked about either...
It's going to be hard to let her go.
Well, we talked about a ZL1.
Yeah. I'm really attached to my car.
yeah. For those of you who don't know, she's got a 2011 RS Camaro, and we bought it with what, 4,000 miles on it?
2,000.
2,000. Yeah, I mean, it was almost brand new when we bought it.
Yeah.
But we've talked about somewhere down the road trading it in on a Corvette or just like a newer. Like hers is a 2011, which honestly, that's the most money I've ever spent on a vehicle in my life. But that's more than twice. We paid more than twice for that Camaro what we just paid for the C5 Corvette. But
I had to have it.
yeah, she had to have it. She deserved it. So, but we have talked about trading it in on, you know, but we got to get other stuff paid off first.
Yeah. I mean, I do want something new and something different, but it's hard to let that one go.
Yeah, and again, her Camaro's only got like, what, 40,000 miles on it now? We've had that car since 2012, and it's only got like 40,000 miles on it. Because we just live like a mile from her job, guys. So that car doesn't get many miles put on it at all. No. Besides the heads, how much better is the LS 5.3 compared to an older GM Performance Parts Vortex? It's a whole different thing. If I didn't have the bottom end taped up on this 6-liter behind me here, I would show you what the big deal is with the LS. But you know, you've got a skirted block, which is a lot stronger from the factory. It's like instead of the main caps being bolted onto the block, they're bolted into the block. I don't know if that makes sense. And every LS is a 6-bolt main. Like you've heard of a 2-bolt main, 4-bolt main, small block Chevy. Every LS engine is a 6-bolt main. You've got 4 bolts in each cap going down, and you've got 2 bolts coming in from the side on every cap. There's no comparison, really. There's just not. I mean, when you're talking about the strength of the block itself, and you know, the rods are way better. I mean, a bone stock 5.3 truck engine is built beefier than, you know, a freaking 350 Chevy that you've sunk thousands of dollars into back in the day. I mean, that bone stock LS is just built better and has less distortion, block distortions. It's a whole different animal, man. Like I could go on about that all night, brother. It's just a whole different freaking animal. And then the heads. I mean, you know, the worst flowing LS heads that they make still flow better than most of the high dollar race heads for the small block Chevy from back in the day. I mean, I don't think there was ever a factory cast small block Chevy head that came even close to flowing what the crappiest LS head flows. Even the Vortex heads, the small block Chevy, the Vortex heads, they still didn't flow nothing like an LS head. Like, not even close. Nice Carnage. I'll watch it later. Skater Pro, everything. Heads is where the power is. Yeah. Yeah, and the heads are, you know, what make the power, but I was just talking about the durability of the, you know, the block and the rotating assembly and everything. Kyle Bennett, I'm shooting for a daily driver that runs 9s in the quarter. I want both. I'm great. Well, hell, you can do it, man. You can do it with a turbo LS. I didn't do it, but I wasn't shooting for that, guys, with the truck build. I was, you know, I knew what I wanted out of the truck, and once I didn't get it, I just got frustrated. And keep in mind, guys, with the turbo truck, I had that truck for like 6 years. I had that truck long, and I had already LS swapped that truck long before I ever started this channel. So, you know, a lot of you guys are like, man, you gave up, you only had that truck a year and you gave, no, man, I had that truck 6 years. 6 freaking years. Like, in the video where I sold it, we actually looked at the title to see when I had originally signed the title, and it was 6 years ago. So, yeah, I didn't just give up on it after a year. Like, I had that truck a long time. I tell my old school small block Chevy buddies, it's like having a built aluminum headed stroker motor on alcohol without spending 30K. Exactly, yeah. Yes, it is. And you got it from the junkyard for $400. Shitbox. Okay, he's talking to Dragbot Demon.
Yeah, he told me to keep the Camaro. Joe.
Who did?
Joe.
Keep the Camaro. Yep. Well, Joe, like we talked about, like I said, trading it on another Camaro, like a newer one, like even maybe a ZL1 or something like that down the road. But I did tell her if we trade it on another Camaro, her next Camaro will be a V8. It'll be at least an SS.
It'll have more bells and whistles.
And more bells and whistles. Yeah, like navigation and all that. She doesn't have that. Like hers is the RS. It has the RS package, but it doesn't have any of the optional stereo stuff or it doesn't have leather either.
Yeah, I didn't get leather.
Yeah, she didn't get leather in it. It's still a $30,000 car. It's insane. I grew up in a trailer, guys. I was talking about that earlier. So, like, most of the homes that I have bought didn't cost as much as her Camaro. So when we went to get her Camaro, I was like, how much? I was like 30,000. I was like, fuck, I just bought a double wide for 28,000 like 10 years ago. You got me paying $30,000 for a car? I was tripping. Yeah, like I'd always paid cash. Before I met her, I'd always paid cash for, most of my cars. And like I always bought like $4,000 or $5,000 Hondas or Camaros or, it was always something I could pretty much pay cash for. And then it was like, hey, I want to buy a $30,000 Camaro. And I was like,
well, that was the first car that I've ever really bought too.
yeah, and it was nice, guys. It was nice. She looks good driving it too, especially when she's topless. She likes to drive around topless all the time.
No, I don't.
Kurt Moore. Not doing... Oh, shit. What just happened? I hit a button. Not doing anything new because we know what works and makes power. Yeah. Drag about deep. LS swapped the world. LS swapped the Camaro for her. That shouldn't be hard to do. Just find a wrecked SS and just gut it. Yeah. But that's the problem now. Like the resale value on her car has dropped so low. Yeah. And the resale value on an SS, that body style, has dropped so low. Like it doesn't make sense to LS swap a car that you could buy with an LS. It really doesn't from a financial standpoint or from any standpoint, really. I mean, why? Because like there's only about, like right now, there's about a $2,000 difference between the resale on her car and the resale on a 2011 SS. So like before I would swap her car, I would say, hey, let's just trade it in on this SS. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to swap. And I'm that way with the trucks too, guys. Like I know I've seen a lot of people take like the truck that had the 4.3 in it. They'll take like a 04 Silverado or something that came with a 4.3, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to LS swap my Silverado. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why don't you just trade it in on, pay a couple $1,000 difference, because you're going to have that much in the swap by the time you're done anyway, and it's just going to be a lot of work. I mean, I wouldn't swap a vehicle that I could just go out and buy with the LS already in it, is my point. It's just, to me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you just want to do it, then do it. But it just doesn't make sense to me personally. Special thanks to lt1swap.com. Yeah, that's a great resource. You can get all your wiring schematics from there. They've got step-by-step guides on swapping stuff. lt1swap.com is awesome. My Vet Life. Car or home? What?
My Vet Life. Car or home.
I think he's talking about because I said I'd paid more for your car than I did for my last double wide that I had bought. Okay. Yeah. Turf Beats. Oh shit. We still alive. I left and came back. Yeah, we got 29 watching, but we've only got 15 thumbs ups. God, you guys hate me that much?
We suck. I suck.
They won't even click a thumbs up button for me. I'm sad. I'm sad now. I don't even know if the thumbs up matters on a live feed, really. My Jeep was 22,000 back in 04. Got it with 8,000 miles on it. Yep. Yeah, like I said, guys, we paid almost $30,000 for her Camaro in 2011, and I think the book value on it now is like 11.
It was
actually,
it was 18 the last time I checked.
Yeah, because of the low
years.
miles. That's why it was so high. Because like I said, it's a 2011, and she's only put like 40,000 miles on it. Yeah. Don't forget Sloppy. Yeah, Sloppy Mechanics. Matt Happel. That's a great resource too. But he doesn't have like all the wiring schematics and stuff that LT1swap.com has. Like they've got shit broke down Barney style for you. I like Matt's style. Matt's just like an asshole about it. He's like, here it is. If you're too lazy to go back and look at this, then fuck you. I mean, that's Matt's whole philosophy. And I kind of envy him in that. I don't do that. I probably should a lot of the time, because a lot of the time I you know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I get annoyed sometimes when I like have to re-answer questions over and over again that I've already covered like 50 times in like 20 different videos. But yeah, Matt's just like, fuck you, man. I already covered this. Go back and look at it. Now I want to say this. On this channel, I have tried to make it easier for you guys to find stuff. You guys might not realize this. I've actually thought about doing a video and explaining how to find stuff on the Bad Luck Garage channel, just so that when people ask questions that I've already answered in a video, I can just link them that video so they can watch it. But here's the deal, guys. I do something that a lot of channels like this don't do. I categorize and I playlist everything. So I realize people aren't used to that, because a lot of YouTube channels similar to this don't do that. It'll just be like, if they've done 5 different project vehicles and you want to know something about one vehicle, you've got to dig through freaking 200 videos to find it. My channel's not set up that way, guys. Every project car we've done has got its own playlist here on the channel. So you don't have to dig through 200 videos, okay? You might have to dig through 20 or something like that. You know what I mean? But like, I've got separate playlists for everything. And I did that when I first started this channel. I decided I was going to try to do everything with its own playlist to help people find stuff easier if they were just looking for information on a specific thing. So, you know, like if you ask a question, like say somebody said, hey, didn't you do, like a while ago, somebody asked me about the decapped injectors. A lot of times I'll be like, yeah, man, I did a video on how to tune decapped injectors. And they'll get pissed sometimes. Like this guy didn't, but I'm just saying, sometimes people will get pissed. They'll be like, I'm not going to dig through 400 fucking videos just to find. You don't have to, man. Like there's a separate playlist on tuning, and it has like 10 videos in it, if that many. You know, so you don't have to go through 400 videos. All you got to do is click on that tuning play. It's like HP Tuners Tuning 101. You click on that playlist, scroll down, find the video that says how to tune decapped injectors. Boom, you're golden. You know, and I did that on purpose. There's a playlist on LS Swap Tech Tips. Okay, there's a playlist on the project, the Turbo C10 project. There's a playlist on this Nova that's sitting behind me, the DR Nova. There's a playlist on the China Vet. There's a playlist on my wife's Camaro. It says Wifey's 2011 RS. And I just started a playlist on the 2007 Avalanche, the Abbey playlist, because we're going to start doing some stuff to it too. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, I mean, I tried to organize this channel to make it real easy for people to go back and find the information they were looking for so that you can kind of help yourself. Because, you know, I mean, I try to help you guys. That's the whole point of this channel, is I tried to help you guys. But I don't always have time. You know, I work a pretty tedious job. I've got a wife. I've got kids. I'm always doing stuff with them too. So Sometimes it may be a day or two before I get to a comment to answer a question or something. So I tried to make it to where, you know, if you know about the whole playlist function on YouTube, you can just go in, look at the playlists, and you can be like, oh, I bet what I need to know is going to be in this playlist. And then scroll down through the videos, you know. And when I do builds, like I was real meticulous with the turbo build on Project Steppenwolf. I filmed every piece of that turbo kit that we made had its own separate video. So, like there's a video on how to build the hot side. Or the crossover pipe. There's a video on how to build the manifolds. There's a video on specifically on mounting intercooler. There's a video on pipe. You get what I'm saying. So it's real easy to click on the Turbo C10 playlist and you're like, you know, like, well, how did he route the PVC lines? So you click on the Turbo C10 playlist, you scroll down. Oh, well, shit fire. There's a video on how to do your PVC lines on a Turbo LS. You know, I try to make it pretty intuitive, guys, just so you know. Let's see here. Where was I at? All right. Yeah, the LT1 site lifesaver. Yeah, Dustin, that LT1.com is a lifesaver. Turf Beats. It doesn't show for me, or I would. Oh, clicking the thumbs up button.
Yeah, but somebody told him, I think, how to do it.
Waterboy retracted a message. Kurt Moore, click off of the top chat, and you can click the... Oh, you're not in the video anymore, huh?
Well, I was getting my left side warm.
Oh, okay. She's on the heater, guys. Did a 5.3 700 R4 swap on a 66 C10 last year. Got another 5.3.
They don't want to see
I'm
that.
stealing some kisses. Got another 5.3. I just saw me kiss her on the computer monitor here, and that's why I was laughing. I was like, God, that looked goofy as shit.
Decals.
I asked about the injectors, and thank you for telling me about the vids. I will watch. Yes, sir. Waterboy, love the way your channel is laid out. Thank you. Like I said, I tried to lay it out the way I did just to make stuff really easily searchable.
Sorry.
What are you laughing about?
Get a room.
Get a room, yeah. Dustin says, you remember Dustin, don't you? He's the one that bought the turbo kit.
Oh,
He's from
okay.
Texas, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, playlists make it easier to find a video to reference it. Are you going to start selling the BLG decals anytime soon? Give me just a second, guys. I want to show you something. Keep them occupied.
Keep them occupied.
Yeah, keep them occupied while I go get these.
Okay. He's going to go get the decals. And he has a surprise with them. So, here he comes.
All right, guys. So, decals. I had some of you guys testing the decals for me. I was really worried about them fading out and stuff, but those of you who've tested them for me, well, those of you I've talked to said that they're actually holding up really good. I've actually had 2 of them on the Corvette for a while now and on the Avalanche, and yeah, they haven't shown any sign of fading. So, sorry, I'm out of breath. I like ran through the house to try to grab these to show them to you. But some of you guys that were testing for me made some suggestions that I should, about stuff I should change on the decals. Well, that's what I did. So I am pleased to announce I now have the Bad Luck Garage decals in 2 different sizes. I've got the 3-inch decals, which is what the testers received. And you'll notice the guys who tested these decals, the original decals did not have the white highlighting around the lettering. Where it says Bad Luck Garage, it was just all black. And what I noticed and what a couple of you who tested them for me noticed was it made it real hard to see the letters because it kind of bled into the burgundy background. So what I did is I ordered another batch and I had them highlight the letters. So that's the new Bad Luck Garage vinyl decal there. Like I said, I've got a 3-inch and I've got a 5-inch decal. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to sell the little 3-inch decals for $3. We'll just keep it consistent. And I'll sell the 5-inch decals for $5. I do not, and you can see what 5 inches is. If you guys, if your wives are watching, you might want to have them look the other way so that they don't see what 5 inches really looks like. But, because I've been telling my wife that this is like 8 inches for years. Now she knows. I just ruined it. But anyway, guys, you can see, the 5-inch decal. It's 5 inches tall. It's like 4.83 inches wide. So, yeah, these are going to be $3. The bigger ones are going to be $5. I do not currently have a site. Like, I don't have just a link you can click on and order them. So, you guys know in all the Bad Luck Garage videos, in the bottom of the video is the Bad Luck Garage email. So what you can do is if you want a decal, you can just email me, tell me what size you want, how many of them you want, and what I'll do is I'll just email you back an invoice from my PayPal account. You can PayPal me, pay the PayPal invoice, and I'll shoot you a decal out. So currently, I only have like 10 of the big ones. I have about 25 left of these, the smaller 3-inch decals. So, my plan is, after I sell all of these or get close to selling all these, then I'll save that money, and whatever money I make off those, I'll use that to order more batches. I'm working on like a longer decal that, instead of being a big round decal, it'll say like Bad Luck and then have the skull and piston logo in the middle and then garage after it. So it'll be a long logo that's only like 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall, for those of you who might want that. But I'm going to use the first 2 batches I ordered. Like I said, once those are sold, then I'll use that money to order more of those and maybe do a 3rd style. So anyway, there you go. All right, now. Oh, William like threw up the puking symbol when I kissed you. My wifey will be home with Chinese food in about 5 minutes. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, we had Chinese at the mall.
Yeah, it was good.
We had Chinese, but it was prepared by Koreans, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't even fucking know, man. I don't know. Happy birthday. You got another happy birthday from Kyle.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, I need to get the injectors and a stall from Dustin. He said, spend all the money on at Christmas. That happens.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys this, like, I suck at Christmas. So what always used to happen to us is at Christmas time, we'd run up credit cards and shit trying to buy stuff for the kids. And my mom, ever since I was on my own, like I said, I grew up poor, guys, and my mom never made very much money. And she always, my mom's the best person. My mom can take $1 and make it seem like 5. I mean, she stretches her money. And she always told me, she's like, you need to just start an account and save for Christmas. And finally, about, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, finally 4 years ago, after my mom telling me that for like 20-something years, 4 years ago, I finally did that. I started having like $80 a payday taken out of my my paycheck and put in a savings account. And so at the end of the year, we have like $1,200, and that's what we buy Christmas with.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea because you know, that way you're ready, and you don't have to wait till the end of the year. Like we start Christmas shopping in fucking October. Just get it over with. By the time everybody's killing each other for Black Friday deals, we found deals all throughout the year, and we're freaking done with Christmas, so we don't have to mess with any of that mess. Because honestly, if you shop all year long, you'll find better deals throughout the year than you're going to find on Black Friday anyway. Yeah. And you already have that shit. When you do a LS build, do you get to eliminate the knock sensors? I changed them cocksuckers 4 times on my truck, and it all came down to torque spec. They're sensitive. Digi-wrench saved the day. You can eliminate them if you want to. I like having the knock sensors because I use them to tune, especially when I'm running nitrous, you know, or turbos. I mean, you know, you can use them to tune. They might hear the knock that your ear doesn't, but you can also desensitize them in your tune if you've got HP tuners. And I do this. I usually cut the sensitivity in half. Because from the factory, the knock sensors are like really hypersensitive anyway. They'll pick up on the slightest little exhaust rattle or anything sometimes. But you can, if you just don't want them, yeah, you can shut them off in the tune and do away with the codes for them and everything. Dustin, I did get 2-inch drop spindles for the all-wheel drive C10 for Christmas. Dustin, you really need to start doing some more YouTube stuff, brother. For those of you who don't know, Dustin is the one who bought the turbo kit that we had fabricated for our project, or for our Turbo C10. He bought that turbo kit off of me that we had built, and he has an all-wheel drive C10 that he's putting it on, and I'm really wishing he would do like more videos and stuff. Mr. Black, I like long and skinny. Wait.
Maybe he's talking about the decals, maybe not.
Oh, yeah. Kurt Moore message retracted. Huh. He must have accidentally typed something or something. All right, well, we know Mr. Black likes long and skinny. Yeah, I've not designed those yet. Actually, I started designing it, and I kind of fucked it up. I'm not good with this whole graphic design thing, guys. So, yeah, I'm not good with it at all. I'm learning though. Like I've got Adobe Photoshop or whatever it is on my computer, and I'm trying to learn how to use it, but I just don't have a lot of free time to play with it. Because I like to design some t-shirts too. Like the t-shirts that are already on the, you know, the link in the video descriptions. I mean, I've got those out, but I'd like to do like a custom t-shirt for the China Vet and for the DR Nova back here. I actually, well, I don't want to say it because Ray might watch the video, but I kind of want to do something for Ray in the form of a t-shirt too. So I need to get better with the whole graphic design thing. Is the Nova going to be carbureted? Hell no. No, the Nova's going to be fuel injected. It's going to get the factory truck style LS fuel injection. And we talked about putting like a LS6 intake on it or something like that. But in the end, Ray decided he just wanted to do the Denali truck style full engine covers like I had in the Turbo C10. So that's what we're going with. I'm not a fan of putting a carburetor on an LS engine. Now, I mean, there's certain situations where you have to, you know, like if you're running in certain classes or something like that that stipulate you can't have fuel injection or, you know, something like that. But I'm not a huge fan of it. Dustin, yeah, you do, brother. You need to do some videos on that truck. Especially once you get it running, because all-wheel drive turbo C10, yeah, you can't deny the world of videos of that, man. That's gonna be badass. Rhett Holloway, I met you at English Mountain, by the way. Cool, brother. I hope we didn't like touch tips or anything.
Me too.
No, man. Yeah, I met a bunch of people. Like the last time I was up there for the well, it wasn't the last time I was up there, but
Yeah.
I was up there for the the no prep cash days.
Cash days.
And yeah, were you in the group of people up there, like where Tracy was sitting, where the barrel was and everything? Because there was like that was cool as shit. Like I went up there, guys, and you know this YouTube channel's not that big. I mean, I've got like 6,300 subs or something. It's not a big channel by any stretch. But when we went up there for cash days, I kept meeting people that were like, "Hey, you're the guy from Bad Luck Garage, right?" And I was like, it just tickled the shit out of me. It kind of embarrassed me a little bit, to be honest, because I'd never had that many people come up to me before. But that was pretty cool. Need to get a camera. I just have a phone to record with as of now. Dustin, you're watching me on an iPhone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know. Like you're watching me on an iPhone. Like I've got the laptop is down here, and that's what I keep looking at. That's what I'm reading your comments on. But this is an iPhone 6S. It's not even a new iPhone. This fucker's like 2 years old. There's nothing wrong with the camera on an iPhone. The iPhone camera actually is better quality than a lot of the GoPro cameras that I use. Like there's times when I think, damn, I should just use my fucking, and there's times I do. You guys don't even notice it most of the time. Like sometimes I'll switch from like, I've got a GoPro Session and I've got a GoPro Hero 5 Black, and then I've got this iPhone, and a lot of times the footage will come from 3 different devices in the same video, and you can't even tell most of the time. Just use your phone. That was my point. That long ramble that I just went on, that's just use your phone, brother. There are so many YouTube channels that just use an iPhone. Let's see here. Rhett Holloway, are you ever going to experiment with aftermarket EFI like Mega Squirt or Holly? That's like kind of, right now, that's kind of beyond my budget. Like, I'm not going to lie, I would love to. Not really the Mega Squirt. I'd like to do the Holly. I know there's a lot of people doing Mega Squirt, and it's like half and half good and bad stuff that I hear about it. So I can't say because I've never used it, but I would really like to try the Holly stuff. And once you get into like the gold box Mega Squirt stuff, hell, it's about the same price as Holly anyway. But I don't have the budget for it, man. I really don't. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to. And if this channel was to ever start pulling some real revenue, where I could afford to do something like that, I would like to, but it's just not my budget for now. Rhett says, you did hit me in the head with and now I know exactly who you are. Okay. Yeah, guys, I was down at the starting line trying to film some of the races at Cash Days, and I hit Red in the head with my camera. I remember doing it too, because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like filming kind of over the top. You guys know how it is if you've ever been to the track for like a Cash Days or no prep. You got a ton of people that just glob up right at the starting line in the middle, in the middle of the track there, and like right in front of the tree. And that's the best place to get footage too. Like I like to try to get behind the cars so you can see them both when they take off. But to do that, there's so many people there, and I've usually got my camera like up over people's head, and I think that's what happened there. I had the camera like right behind them, and right when he stepped back, I hit him right in the head with my damn camera. Sorry about that, brother. Luckily, it was a GoPro and not like a big professional camera, because that shit would have hurt, right? I can't afford no good. I really couldn't afford the GoPro, dude. I'll tell you how broke well, I mean, I'm not broke, but like it's hard for me to try to put any money into like actual equipment for the channel. That's why a lot of my earlier videos were just done with the iPhone or with an old camera that we had. But like, we've got a Best Buy card, and just to get a GoPro, my first GoPro, I had to make payments on that fucker for like 6 months. We had to, and it was a $200 GoPro or $150 that session. Yeah, guys, like it took me 6 months to pay off a $150 GoPro. Hey, Rhett, I remember that. Okay, they're talking to each other. Dustin, I know it's far-fetched, but maybe one day I can take a vacation and bring the truck once I get it all the way going. That would be sweet. That would be cool, man. Maybe come up here and run it at English Mountain or something. God, you're all the way in Texas, though. That's a long freaking drive, brother. Shitbox. iPhone 6. Woo! Yep. That's what us regular people use. We ain't got those newfangled iPhone 11, 13s or whatever the hell they are. Yeah, hers is an iPhone 6 too. We used to be able to kind of stay up to date with technology because I've got Verizon. So we used to get like free phones every 2 years, and they did away with that. So now it's like we've been using the same phone for like over 2 years, and I don't want to have to pay $500 for a fucking phone. So it's like, you want a new phone? Tough shit. That one still works. You're using it. Nah, it's not like that. If she really wanted one, she'd go get it, because what I say don't fucking matter.
I want to watch.
Yeah, she wants one of those iPhone watches. What are they called? An iWatch? I don't know what they're called.
Pretty one I go on my wrist.
Yeah, she wants one of those.
Because I can have that at work. I can just kind of look down and see what's going on.
Watching BLG's videos, unfortunately. What? Unfortunately? I mean, I know they suck, but come on, man. Rhett says, oh, okay, they're still talking to each other. Shitbox says, I've had my 6 for almost 4 years. Well, I've been using a 6 since they first came out. But it's not, I don't still have the original 6 that I had when they first came out, because my job gives me a company phone, which for various reasons I don't use for personal use anymore. I've got my own iPhone up here. But I'll tell you right now, these iPhones are fucking junk. When you have to, like on my job, I use them for invoicing. I type up all my reports on the iPhone and stuff, and I go through an iPhone about every 6 months. I mean, they just burn up. They just stop working about every 6 months. When you're constantly using them for invoice processing and stuff, it's like they just can't handle it. They get hot and they burn up. They'll shut off. They'll just the screen will black out one day and it's done. And I got to call corporate and have them send me another one. So I'm actually on like my 4th work iPhone in like 2 years. I mean, like I said, about every 6 months, they just die on me. And nobody's talking again. I almost feel like I should scrub on this engine back here, but like I don't want to miss something. So you guys got any, you guys got questions? Any more questions about any of the projects we're working on right now? Oh, shitbox. My sweetie pie, old lady. Oh, had a brand new 7 that crapped out in less than a year. I believe it, man. Yeah. We'll do conspiracy theory. I honestly believe that Apple builds these phones to fail. Like, I really do. I think these phones are designed to just, and that's why, like I said, I go through one about every 6 months, because I probably use it twice as much as the average user does, because I use it for typing reports and invoicing at work constantly. So I really believe they make these phones to fail after so much usage. I really do, just to force you to buy another one, because, yeah. timeline for the DR Nova. Spring. It's got to be done by spring. That's the plan. Ray wants it by spring. So honestly, once I get this engine behind me painted and put back together, it's all going to go pretty fast. All the parts are here, guys. Like, you just gotta bolt it. Yeah, I've just got to put it in. I'm going to call Ray in the morning and see if he wants to come over and help scrub the engine bay. Because if the weather's good tomorrow, I'm going to roll the Nova out in the driveway and scrub down the engine bay. And then I'm going to paint the whole engine blade like... the whole engine bay is just going to be like satin black. And then next weekend I have to work. But hopefully sometime in the next week or two, we can go ahead and I'll already have the engine together and the transmission bolted to it, and we can get it set in. Once I set this 6.0, you know, once I actually set it in the Nova, everything's going to go real fast after that, because then it's just going to be pretty much just bolting parts together. I've got to make the fuel lines and stuff, but all that stuff, the fittings, the fuel line, everything is in these boxes over here that you guys have seen stacked up against the wall in some of the videos. Like literally everything's here except the radiator. And I ordered that last night. So everything I need, all the fittings, everything, I've been stockpiling for a couple months now, getting ready for this. And I want to say too, when I go to start doing these videos, like I'm going to do a video on installing the tank sink, fuel tank, and setting up the sending unit and the fuel pump and everything. So that's going to be its own video. I'm going to do a video on making the transmission lines. I'm going to do a video on making all the fuel lines, and all the fittings, everything that I use in those videos. I'll, of course, like I always do, I'll put links to them in the description of the video. So you guys that are following along, with the exception of the actual tank itself, pretty much everything I'm doing on this swap applies to any swap you do, like as far as making the fuel lines and everything. So again, it's going to be, and it's in its own playlist. So it's more, you know, researchable material for people who are wanting to know what fittings you use, how do you make the fuel lines for your LS swap, transmission lines, all that, you know. Let's see here. There's no money for them if it lasts for several years. Forced upgrades. Yeah, William, I believe that. I really do. And I don't think it's like a conspiracy theory. I think it's true shit.
Go up above that. I think you missed.
No, I had already read that.
Oh,
He was.
okay.
Oh no, I didn't. I did. I missed one from. Oh, I missed a bunch. Joe wants to know, what paint are you using on the 6.0? Well, I may change this tomorrow, guys, but I've got the VHT Chevy Orange. Normally I use, like when I painted it silver the first time, the color it is now, normally I use the, was it Duplicolor engine paint? There's some of it over there. I forget what brand it is. Hold on, guys, because I want to tell you the real shit here. What's that engine paint? That one? No, that's VHT. That's Rust-Oleum. I'm out of the engine paint that I used before. Or maybe it is Rust-Oleum. No. All right, don't worry about it, honey. Don't worry.
I mean, that's all I see.
Yeah, I'm all out of it. But I used a different. I used a different brand of paint before. There's only really two companies that do the engine paint that's real popular, and there's this VHT, and there's I want to say it's Duplicolor, but I usually use the other one. Not the VHT. I use the other one. They sell it at Walmart. And my favorite color is the satin black. because it's not flat black, but it's not gloss black either. It's just kind of, well, satin. It's somewhere in the middle. But I got the satin VHT, and you guys saw me use that on the motor mounts a couple videos back, and I didn't like the way it turned out. So I'm really thinking about taking this back, because I've not opened this can yet, and getting the other brand, because it's got me worried about how this is going to turn out. All right. Timeline, what paint? Dustin's Galaxy 7, been using it since it came out. Kyle says, you may have already, or said already, but what rear gear is in the Nova? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a 273. It's pretty numerically low, but you know, like they call it a high gear, highway gear. It's pretty high geared. And Ray has talked about wanting to put, you know, like a, no deeper than like a 342, something like that in it. But he's using it, it's going to be a daily driver. And, you know, it's like I told him, I said, hell, Ray, I mean, the Corvette's got a freaking 273 gear in it, and we're fixing to hit 10s in it. You know, I mean, that 273 gear is fine, and you get good gas mileage. And he's only wanting to run, this Nova, he said, as long as it runs like mid to high 7s in the 8th when we're done with it, that's as fast as he wants it. So, you know, which would make it like a high 11-second car in the quarter. He's, like I've said before, guys, he's wanting this to be a daily driver. Like, he wants to be able to just drive this thing every day and not have to worry about it. So that's why we're not going all crazy radical with it. William, there's no money for, okay, yeah, we covered that. What you doing for a harness on the Nova? Yeah, it's a PSI harness. Oh, okay, Dave, yeah, you hadn't been here that long, because I was going to say, we just talked about this a little while ago, but that was somebody else. Yeah, we're using the PSI harness on the Nova. Ray wanted a brand new harness, and it's already over here. Like, I've already bought it. It's sitting over here in this stack of boxes, so just like everything else. Yeah, if you guys can't see, well, you still can't see, but there's a whole stack of boxes like chest high over there by that door, and that's all the stuff for the Nova swap. All the new stuff. Like, all the engine parts and stuff are over there. Everything's here. That's my point. Like, we're waiting on nothing but the radiator. And I just ordered that last night, so. Oh yeah, William answered him, PSI harness. Are you running AN lines for everything? I'm running aluminum hard lines with AN fittings. And I covered this a while back, but the reason I didn't want to use the braided stainless lines, we are trying. I know we did use some kind of expensive parts, like the PSI harness. I mean, that was like $550 or $600 by itself. But we're still trying to do this like kind of budget oriented. And the rubber lines with the stainless steel wrap on them, the ethanol smell permeates those lines. So if you like Steppenwolf was a perfect example of this. I did all braided stainless AN lines on Steppenwolf, and if I parked that truck in this garage, it would start smelling like ethanol, bad. Yeah. And I wasn't running E85, but you know, the gas today is all at least E10. So yeah, it would put out a pretty strong smell if you left it parked in an enclosed area. Now you can step up and get like NTFT or whatever it's called, the harder plastic, but it's still braided stainless. It's just not rubber inside, and the smell won't permeate that. But then that shit starts getting expensive. Basically, we just wanted to do all hard lines. So I ordered 2 25-foot rolls of aluminum hard line, and that should be enough to do the fuel system and both transmission lines. And so we're going to do hard lines all the way up from the transmission to the radiator. And then the fuel line is going to be hard line all the way to the engine bay. And then once the hard line comes into the engine bay, I'm going to switch, and there's going to be about 1.5 feet of braided stainless going between the hard line and the fuel rail. But that's going to be the only braided stainless in the entire thing. But everything is being done with AN fittings. Dustin, I use some Dirty Dingo motor mounts and a mount for the PCM from Dirty Dingo, and they work perfect bolted to the side of the LS. Yeah, and I went over the mounts that I'm using in the video I did a couple days ago. As far as the PCM, we're actually going to mount the PCM behind the dash. I think I went over that in a video, like maybe the video before last or something. Or it might have been 2 videos ago, but we're going to mount the PCM under the dash, and I'm probably going to use like a F-body PCM mount behind the dash because it's just so compact. I do have an S10 PCM mount. It's just like a flat mount that clips, but I don't know. Like you guys will see in a video when I do it, but just where I'm putting the PCM, it's going to be kind of hard to use most mounts that you would use if you were like mounting the PCM in the engine bay. Yeah, I remembered as soon as you said it's PSI is 600 shipped. Yeah, it was 600 shipped, but I actually bought that on with a day that eBay was using the 15% off code or whatever. So we ended up getting it for like $5.50. So it saved about $50 with that eBay code. Jason Cameron. Yeah, guys, I want to say that too. A lot of the times I'll order stuff from eBay through a company's eBay store just to save money because I'll have like an eBay coupon day or something where it's like 15 or 20% off. Like I could have ordered that same harness straight from PSI and it would have cost me $600. But they also have an eBay store. So because I ordered it on eBay, I got it for $5.50. Whereas if I would have ordered it directly from their website, it would have cost me $600 because I wouldn't have been able to use that eBay coupon. Jason Cameron, can you run E85 on the aluminum line? Yeah, you should be able to. I've never really, yeah, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to run E85. E85 eats rubber, but the aluminum, I would think, would be fine. Dustin, wire harness, or harness-wise, man, I just don't see spending $500. Well, yeah, I don't either, Dustin. And if it was my car, I would have just remade a factory harness for it like I always do, but it's not my car. And, you know, like I said earlier in this feed, you know, that's one thing about this Nova is I have to wait on Ray because, you know, Ray's the one paying for everything, and Ray is the one deciding what he does and doesn't want to use. So he's given me a lot of leeway, a lot of input, but, you know, I still run everything by him. And he wanted a brand new harness. He didn't want me to rework one, so that's what we did. Skater Pro, I remember spending over $300 for PTFE lines and fittings. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. And doing the aluminum hardline, guys, is cheap as fuck. It really is. Like a 25-foot piece of aluminum line is like $18. It's from Summit Racing, and a 20-foot piece of braided rubber, stainless rubber hose from Summit. Even the Summit brand is almost twice that. No, it's more than twice that. So the hard lines were actually the cheaper way to go, and it gives you more of a factory look from everything, and, you know, less chance of worrying about stuff rupturing, getting pinched, shit like that. Nice on the eBay eBay code. I order direct. Yeah, guys, like if you've been on this channel any length of time, you know I love eBay. I eat that shit up. I don't even fuck with Amazon usually. I eat eBay up, and there's a reason for it. And one of the reasons is what I just told you. Just about every Summit Racing, Jegs, PSI, just about every big company that you know of also has an eBay store. And, you know, eBay does these discount coupons sometimes a few times a month. So if you're willing to wait on one of those discount days, it doesn't make sense to order direct, guys. If you go through eBay, you get this same part. You get it from the same, like you get it from Summit. You get it from Jegs, but you're going to save shit tons of money going through eBay instead of ordering it straight from Jegs or Summit or whoever because of the eBay discount day. So that's why, if you notice, guys, even when I buy like parts, Summit Racing brand parts, I will still put the eBay link. I'll put the link to their eBay store in my videos, not the link to summitracing.com, because you can save money if you go through eBay instead of ordering straight from Summit. You're still ordering from Summit. You're just going through eBay to do it. Hope that makes sense. Shitbox Green Shield is cheap too. I must have missed something. I don't know what Green Shield is. Kyle Bennett, what diameter hard line are you using for the fuel lines? 3/8. I thought about doing 1/2 inch, but 3/8 will support 500 plus horsepower, no problem. And we don't plan on this Nova ever making more. Like the engine that's in this Nova now, or the 6.0 here, it might make like 450 at the crank, not at the wheels, at the crank. And he may, like he's talked about maybe letting me put like 100 shot of nitrous on it, not to use all the time, but just if he wants to. So that 3/8 is going to be more than enough to support what this thing is going to be doing. Yeah, and for those who don't know, 3/8 is about like running a -6 line. Let's see here. What diet? All right. I tried to do my own harness, but I ended up not trusting my own work. But the harness is still balled up in the corner. This was my first time diving into that kind of project. Trust yourself, William. Like if you pulled out if you went to like lt1swap.com and you got their pinout diagram and you just done it like that, it should be fine, brother. It should be fine. Any way to know when the eBay codes are active? I never find out until the next day when it's too late. Okay, if you've got the app on your iPhone, once a day, usually about the middle of the day is when it'll pop up. I check the eBay app on my phone because when you first open the eBay app on your phone, if there's any codes or any kind of discounts going on that day, it'll show you on that app. If you go online to eBay and like click on eBay where it takes you to the main page, same thing. If they're having like 15% off clothing or something, I know you've seen that when you've opened eBay before, and it'll say like 15% off clothing or 15% off kids' toys or something like that. Every now and then you'll see one that says 20% off everything. Use code. Like this last code was pop-in savings. That was the code. The words pop-in savings or something like that. Also, check your Facebook pages. I know sometimes on the Bad Luck Garage group page, because those guys know how I'm on eBay all the time, and several of the guys will post on the Bad Luck Garage group page. They'll be like, hey, Robert, eBay coupon today or something, you know. So I find out that way sometimes. Sloppy Mechanics, people will post it up on that eBay page, or I mean on that Facebook page too sometimes. But the best way is, like I said, check your eBay app every day. And usually the code expires at like 10 p.m. Eastern time or something. So check it in the middle of the day, because it'll pop up at like 7 in the morning, and it'll only be active that day until like 10 o'clock at night. So around lunchtime every day, just make it a routine. Like what I do is I'll save stuff in the cart and I'll wait for a discount to pay for it. So like I said, just every day around lunch, make that your routine. Open your eBay app on your phone and see if there's a code that day. The Dirty Dingo PCM mount is just a flat mount if you have a flat surface to mount it. Mine's under the dash in the C10. Yeah, and the S10 mounts are about the same way. Where's my... Tracy's still here, guys. She's just cuddling with the heater.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, see, if you guys hadn't seen it before, this is like the mid-90s S10 PCM mount, and it works with any of the LS style Gen 3 PCMs. So your PCM, well, I've got a whole stack of freaking PCMs over here. Like, I can't just show you guys how this works. But this is all it is. You can go to any junkyard and get this out of a S10, guys. But it's under the hood in an S10. But all it is, you know, you've got your Gen 3 PCM. It just slides up in here. Oh, I've got it backwards. So you mount this. It's flat. You mount this, and then your PCM just clips in it like this and snaps down. Well, I'm making it look harder than it is because I'm trying to do it where you guys can see it. You see these little fingers here? Just pull on them. There you go. It's clipped in. And as an added safety feature, like, it's not coming out, guys. Like, it's in there. But as an added safety feature, you've also got this that, you know, you can snap that over it. So that holds the PCM. The problem with putting this up in the dash in the Nova is I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it into a spot where I can access these. So if you ever want to pull this out, you pop this clip down and you just push on these two tabs, push these down, and then the PCM pops out. I know the Dirty Dingo mounts, I know what they look like too, but like I said, I paid like $2 from Junkyard for this, and it serves the same purpose, you know. You've got 3 mounting tabs you can use. You can make, you know, bend you some angle or something, but this is probably what I'm going to use in the Nova, is this right here, mounted up under the dash. Yeah, it's funny. I was like, I wish I had a PCM to show them how this works. Yeah, there's a whole stack of them over here, guys. I've even, yeah, there's a whole stack of PCMs over here. Green Shield is ethanol resistant. Shit, ethanol resistant rubber high pressure fuel hose. Okay, that makes sense. I remember having problems with the injector pigtails. Worth more than the harness. eBay, brother. They sell those injector pigtails on eBay for really cheap. I mean, honestly, if you knew the names for each of the connectors on a LS harness, you could probably buy all the connectors. If you shopped around on eBay or Amazon, you could probably buy every single connector needed to build a LS harness for like $100 for all the connectors. Then it, you know, where the real money's involved is all the different color wiring if you wanted to keep it correct, and, you know, you could build one from scratch for a couple $100, I'm sure. Instead of using a reworked harness, but man, it'd be a lot of trouble going through all that. I'm still here, boys. Steak was delicious. I just saved $60. 60. Damn it, man. Why does this keep messing up? $60 off my BTR Stage 2 cam yesterday. Yeah, Mr. Black. And that's why I ordered the last part we needed for the Nova was a LS swap radiator. I could have used the factory radiator, but his radiator that he had, I think he said, was leaking anyway. So he wanted to get a new radiator. And that's why I waited till yesterday and I ordered it last night, was because of that 15% off code that was running yesterday. Bless you.
Thank you.
What state you in? I'm in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. You're the only 10 I see. They must be talking to you, because they sure the hell ain't talking to me. That is the same cam was wanting to buy using the code. I found out too late, though. Oh, well, I got a nice deal on CNC ported LS6 heads at least, though. Hell yeah. I'd like to have some ported 243s or 799s. Hell, I'd like to just have a set of stock. The Avalanche has got 243s on it from the factory, guys. I think I talked about that before. Like, I just want to take the stock heads off the Corvette and swap them with the stock heads on the Avalanche, just so I could have the 243s to put on the Corvette. But I'm so not going to do that. I'll find a good deal. Sometimes I'll see I see 243 sometimes on Craigslist for like $200, and it'll be somebody who doesn't realize that they're popular, I guess. You know, they'll be like, because they came on 5.3s and 4.8s too, guys. Like just about all the Gen 4 stuff has 243 heads. The 4.8s and 5.3s. Just about all of them came with 243s or 789s. And I'll see people post on Craigslist, they'll say 4.8 heads or heads off 4.8 Chevy truck or something like that. And I'll see in the ad, you can see where it says 243 on the head, and they're wanting like 150, $200. And every time I see something like that, I'm fucking broke and don't have the money, and I'm just kicking myself. Because when I do have the money, all I can find is people wanting like $400 or $500 for them. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not paying you. I don't give a shit what they are. I'm not paying you $400 or $500 for a set of used, dirty as fuck stock LS heads with nothing done to them. I'm not doing it. I don't care if they're 243, 799. I don't give a shit. I'm not paying you that much money for a set of old greasy stock heads. Maybe if they had some nice springs and stuff on them or something like that, but yeah. But like I said, every now and then you'll find somebody who's took a set of 243s off a 5.3 Gen 4 motor or something, and they don't realize that it's a sought-after head for the Cathedral Port guys, and they'll post them for like $150, $200. And I'm always broke. And like Tracy's got money in her savings and stuff like that. If I really need money, I can be like, hey, baby, will you let me borrow some money out of the savings account or something? But I don't do that for car parts, guys. Like, if one of our cars was broke down and I needed money to buy a necessity part, then I would go to her and be like, hey, babe, can I get this money out of savings? But I'm not going to do that for something that I just want, you know, for a project vehicle. That's just not responsible adulting. Because that money's there for an emergency, you know, or actually the main savings account's the Christmas account. So I'm not going to pull money out of the Christmas account for a non-emergency. Shitbox says $100 243s. I'll take two sets. I know, right? Like I said, I actually did, and it was just a couple months ago. I saw a set of, they were listed as 4.8 truck heads. And when I zoomed in on one of the pictures, I could make out where it said 243 on the head, on one of the heads. And he wanted $150 for the pair. And I was broke as shit. As a matter of fact, I think I said something to her because I was laying in bed looking at Craigslist when I saw it. And I was like, well, I probably didn't say anything to you, but I was like, fuck, because I knew I didn't have the money to buy them. Because if I'd have had $150, I'd have been called. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I'd have been calling them. I'd have been like, hey, man, it was like 20, 30 minutes from here. I'll be like, I'll meet you in 30 minutes, dude. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. If I'd have had the money, I'd have been calling them. Mr. Black says, I paid $300 for a pair of 2010 243s, 50,000 miles. They're leaving for Texas Speed on the 2nd of January. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying, guys. I mean, people act like 243s are this coveted thing, but pretty much every single Gen 4 5.3 engine has them on it. So people shouldn't be charging $400, $500 for a set of these things used, guys. I mean, they're all over the fucking place. They really are. they're not like some unicorn that is hard to find. I mean, honestly, if I wanted to just, if I went to a junkyard and I could find anything that was '07 or up with a 5.3 or a 4.8 in it, I'm going to go to the junkyard and I'm going to end up with them heads for $100, $150 if I go to a pull apart. You know, so I'm not paying you $500 for those fucking heads, because it's literally going to take me 30 minutes to pop them off a truck at pull apart. You know, I'm going to go in there with a, I'm going to go in there with my fucking, my drill here and, you know, a fucking breaker bar just to knock the head bolts loose. And then some bitches are going to be off in 30 minutes for 100, 150 bucks. So, yeah, not paying you $500 a set for them, guys. Sorry. That stuff doesn't exist on Craigslist in my area. Oh, it does. It's just people snap it up before you ever see it, shitbox. Guaranteed. Because like I said, everybody's not a hot rodder. And everybody doesn't know what they have. To me or you, those are fucking 243 heads, man. But to 60-year-old Grandpa Joe, who's just trying to get some shit out of his way, that's a set of truck heads off an old Silverado I had. You know what I mean? Take $100 for him. He don't know. He don't care. He just wants the shit out of his way. And if he can make a little money to make Grandma happy, you know, while he's getting his junk out of the garage, all the better. I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Cost of living is high in my area, and all prices are reflected that way. That's back to what I was just saying, though. If they don't know what people think it's worth, then they're, you know, cost of living is not even an issue if somebody doesn't know what they think it's worth. Right here is a whole LM7 on Facebook in my town for $300 I'm debating on snatching up. Yeah, there was a fight. Guys, people are freaking ignorant with this shit. There was a complete pull-out 5.3 last week, okay? Top to bottom, wiring harness, computer, all accessories, transmission. Had a 4L60 behind it. Now, I know how everybody feels about that. But the point is, this was a complete pull-out 5.3 with transmission, all accessories, everything in Sweetwater for $500, okay? I think it had like 100 and something thousand miles on it. Who gives a shit? For all that, for $500, who gives a shit? I don't care if it's got 250,000 miles on it. It's a good deal. All right? That shit was gone in like an hour. Okay? I had actually marked it because it was last week, and I was like, I got a real good check coming Friday. If this shit's still on there, I might call them. Yeah, it didn't even last an hour, guys, because an hour after I marked it, it was gone, right? Point is, this shit was on there for $500. This week, there's a guy on there wanting $1,500 for a 4.8 liter, and he ain't even got all the shit for it and no transmission. And somebody's going to pay that for it. Guaranteed. Somebody's going to pay $1,500 for that piece of shit. and it's in the same area, guys. That's what I'm saying. Cost of living ain't got shit to do with it. It's in the same area. It's just, this guy knows that some dumbass is going to pay $1,500 for that shit. The other guy just had some shit he pulled out of a truck and just wanted to get it the fuck out of his way. That was my point with that. Looks like I know something else I should design and make. Slimline custom PC mounting bracket. There you go, Kurt. There you go. And make sure you put the Blg garage on it. Advertise for me. But yeah, dude. I mean, seriously. Hell, Kurt. Well, I don't know how you'd make the clip design. Oh, we got to get off here, guys. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. This has already went on for like 2 hours, I think. My wife's over here getting droopy-eyed. So, I told her to, I said, this one's not, because that last live feed we did was like over 4 hours. And I was like, this one's going to be 2 hours tops. Looks like I know something else I should do. All right. Yeah, no joke. I bought 2 rolled up or rolled pickups for $500, complete 6.0. Yep. More mileage equals more gap equals more boost. Fucking A right, brother. I also scored some 317 heads. That's what's going on my turbo motor. They are ported intake and exhaust stock heads ported with new springs that I got. Hell yeah. I'm not going to admit what I paid for my 5.3 long block in 2005. I can imagine. Guys, I mean, I paid quite a bit for this 6.0. I got a good deal on the transmission, but I paid more than I should have for this 6.0 like 5 years ago when I bought it. And then keep in mind, 100 miles after I put it in, I ended up having to put a brand new crank and all new rod and main bearings in it too. So I really overpaid for it. It didn't even come with all the accessories. But that was my first swap. You know, like 5, 6 years ago. Hell, I didn't know any better. I like these vids. You should do more of. I try, man, but like I said earlier, it's really hard with work, especially right now. We're down a man at work, and it's just it's been really bad at work. To be honest, I wish I could find another job. I really do, because I'm pretty burnt out on my job, but I'd like to do more live feeds too. The only problem I have with live feeds is because I'm trying to read all this, I don't get anything done, which that's fine because I mean, the live feed is all about interacting with you guys anyway. It's, you know, and I don't have to actually be doing anything, you know. I like to, my whole thing with the live feed is, what I'd like to do is get on here and answer questions about stuff that you guys ask me in the comments. But the problem is the people who always ask me a ton of questions in the comments never get on the live feeds. So it's, that aspect of it never seems to work out. Because I'll do this live feed, and then tomorrow I'll have like 40 questions on some of my older videos. And I'll be like, you could have asked me in person yesterday, guy. But I do want to say this too, guys. A lot of you, when I talked about doing another live feed a few days ago, a lot of you were saying, well, yeah, I missed the last one. I didn't know you were doing it. Make sure you have the notification bell clicked. Like, even if you're subscribed to the channel, if you haven't turned on the notification tab, the little notification bell, then yeah, you're not going to know when I do a live feed, probably, unless you just happen to be on YouTube when I'm doing it. But I'm not telling you to click it. If you want to turn on notifications, if you don't want to be notified, then fucking don't turn it on. But if you really want to know when I'm doing one of these live feeds, so you don't miss it, click the notification bell. That way, you know, you'll get notified. You know, there'll be a little pop-up on your phone or whatever that'll say Bad Luck Garage is streaming now or some shit. I forget what it says exactly, but anyway, guys, had a good time doing this. Like I said, I need to get off here. It's been almost 2 hours, but I am going to get this engine painted this weekend, so look for a video on that. Since I didn't get it done on this live feed, I'll probably roll it into a video somewhere. And if Ray comes over tomorrow and helps me clean up the engine bay and stuff, hopefully real soon there'll be a video of us setting this in the car. So anyway, guys, it's been fun talking to you. Get off here, get out in the garage, and get something done. That's what I'm going to do when I get off here. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video or on the next live feed. Don't forget to go to the group page. If you're not a member of the group page, get on there. And Happy New Year's, guys. If I didn't say it before, I hope all you guys had a Merry Christmas. I hope if you've got kids, I hope they had a great Christmas. And I hope you guys have a great New Year, and hope you stick around for more videos, guys. Peace.
Bye.
How do I turn this